Y'all don't hear us. Pull up a seat and motherfucking listen. Pull up a seat and motherfucking listen.
Pack your bag, time to go home.
Talking crazy on our soil where our blood and bones grown.
This our grind, we outside on it. While y'all fools on the outside looking, y'all show no respect to Black America, so leave.
Y'all don't get it, so it's time to go home.
Get the hell up out of America, take your district and just fly on.
Y'all don't get it, so it's time to go home.
Get the hell up out of America, take your district and just fly on.
You landed on the tarmac, fresh off the boat. Talking about y'all building nothing, man, you choking on the note. My ancestors the reason that this country even breathes. Picked the cotton, built the White House, planted the seed. Jim Crow laws, redlined the map, we was the target. You think that struggle's a costume, man, you can't mark it. We fought the wars, we bled the blood, we died for our futures. Chance and you come here and give our legacy a side eye while throwing shade on the guard. While you benefit from doors we kick down with our last breath. Now you spit on the architects who stared down death. Disrespectful, that's disrespectful, ungrateful, a slap in the face to only people who gave a fuck. So let me show your ungrateful ass to the right place.
Pack your bags, time to go home.
Talking crazy on our soil where our blood and bones grown.
This our ground and we outside on it. While y'all fools on the outside looking, y'all show no respect to Black America, so leave.
Y'all don't get it, so it's time to go home.
Get the hell up out of America, take your district and just fly on.
Y'all don't get it, so it's time to go home.
Get the hell up out of America, take your district and just fly on.
Passport, the visa, the privilege to be here. Cause my grandma did march for y'all, so disappear from our land. You cosplaying our pain. Think it's a trend you can borrow, but you ain't inherit the ghosts of our sorrow. We the foundation, the bedrock, the soil, and the root. You not no branch on our tree, and unproductive people always cosplaying me.
Talking about we ain't do nothing, you lost your mind. We built this from nothing, time after time.
From the beginning to now, we been the backbone and muscle. Why you look down on the struggle and cause a whole tussle? That energy sky was disgusting, it's whack. So let's make it clear, there's no turning back.
This land is paid for in full.
In blood, sweat, and tears, and dreams deferred.
You don't get to come into a house we built from the dirt and telling Black America y'all ain't worth nothing. That's a violation, facts.
Pack your bags, time to go home.
It's our soil on our soil where our blood and bones grown.
Show respect, this our ground, y'all just tenants on a leash.
Or get the step.
Show no respect to Black America, so leave.
Don't get it, so it's time to go home.
Get the hell up out of America, taking your business, I can just fly on.
Don't get it, so it's time to go home.
Get the hell up out of America, taking your business, I can just fly on.
Yeah, fly little birdies.
Fly on back to where you came from.
This ain't for you. The soil is sacred.
We said what we said.
It's time
For y'all to go home. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. Far, far away from here. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. Far, far away from here. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. Far, far away from here. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. So fly a little birdies fly. Far, far away from here. Bye bye, little birds.
They thought we forgot, but we never forget. This one's built this land from dust and tears, 400 years, and we still here. They write new rules, but they don't see. Every freedom they got came off you and me. We planted seeds, they took the bloom. We lit the flame, they left the room. But we back now, no disguise. The spirits woke, we realize. All we want is what we earn. That sweat and blood, yeah, that table turn. You can't buy culture, can't fake that fight. This is our day, this is our ride. We LBA. Say it loud, say it strong. We the heartbeat that's been here all along. Foundation of Black Americans, stand tall. We ain't begging for nothing, we built that all. Born from pain and grace, you can see the truth written in our face. We the soul, the sound to fight the flame. Foundational Black Americans, say our name. They love our rhythm, but they dodge our blues. Use our voice when it fits their news. They take our sound, but not our scars. We the backbone, we the scars. Now the veil is gone, the mask is clear. We see the game, we know it's here. No more silence, no more lies. We lift that flag and watch it rise. Rise up, rise up. We the ones that made this nation breathe. Our flames are power, our roots are trees. We know world. It's rhythm and grace now, and now we're reclaiming our rightful place. Can't copy courage, can't steal pain. You can't inherit soul by changing names. Our story ain't done, it's the revival. We guard the gate, it's about survival. We FBA, say it proud, say it loud. The world dances on what we vow. Foundation of Black Americans. Still we stand, still we fight, still we demand. Every block, every song, we've been right here all along. The soul of a people strong and free. Foundation of Black Americans. We the first, we the rule, we the fire. Still rising, still here. Foundational Black American.
We set the tone and they copy the cadence. Dance to our drums and deny the foundation. Wear the style but don't honor the source. Smile in the crowd and you distance and force. Say you not us but you rap like we breathe. Take the rhythm, then fuse the receipts. I ain't mad, I'm just holding the glass. Showing the mirror, now answer it back. I ain't here to cancel nobody. Just keep it honest, keep it solid. If you eat from the table we built, don't act surprised when we guard it. Do you like that? Do you like that? When I flip your sound and I ride like that. Do you like that? Do you like that? Do you like that? Cause that's how it feel when you borrow my culture. Then act like we never mattered. Hip-hop.
Mike Larry. Now this shit here, it's what I see it is. We're not fighting your battles. We're not carrying your fear. We're not lending our history to people who erased us while we were here. Just cause you born here, don't make you FBA. That makes you a citizen, learn the difference today. This is lineage, not a look you can wear. Not a costume you borrow when it benefits you there. You used our culture like like an access card, backstage pass, a straight facade, but now the mirror's in your face. No disguise, and you're uncomfortable looking truth in the eyes. We didn't leave our land to beg for a chance. We stayed, we fought, we took every advance. That's the separation, that's the line you cross. We paid the price, you learned the cost. You waving your flag on our soil, but fighting not to go back home. Waving your flag on our soil, building comfort on a foundation you didn't own. We waving our flag, red, black, and gold. Stood our ground, never sold. You waving your flag on our soil, but scared to build what you claim you love. Our humor, our style, the way we move, the smoothness, the sound, the things we prove. Music we birth, language we shape, innovation forged under constant escape. Warrior spirit means stay and defend, not flee your land and rewrite the end. You call it success, but don't confuse the two. Ease came after what we went through. You abandoned your land and called it strategy. You wave that flag loud, but won't return to build your legacy. That contradiction tells the story for you. You waving your flag on our soil, we're fighting not to go back home. We waving ours where we were forged, every inch earned, every brick known. We can't be deported, and that truth changes everything. We can't be deported, and that truth changes everything. We know who we are, and now we see who you are too. Just because y'all born here doesn't make you FBA at all. It makes you an American citizen. It's biologically impossible to be us, because it's a lineage, not some damn costume you can just put on to look cool. You immigrants and immigrant Americans has used our culture as an access card, a backstage pass to our culture. Now y'all have to look in the mirror. Our sense of humor, the aesthetics, mannerisms, the style of dress, the smoothness, the creativity, our genres of music, innovativeness, our slang, our warrior spirit by staying on our homeland and fighting and not fleeing to somebody else's land to beg for a better life and shit on the very people who fought to have us there. That's who we are. And we know who the hell y'all are waving your flag on our soil and fighting to make sure y'all don't go back.
You can't leech off our culture anymore. Beat it!
Mike Larry, man, you did it again. We really making history. Let's go. Do you like that? Do you like that? Flip your sound, how you like that? Do you like that? Do you like that? Say it loud, don't walk it back. Do you like that?
Do you like that?
You grew up mimicking us, now y'all switch it up. Turn the carbon copies, y'all ain't black, what the fuck? It's funny y'all connecting to our culture like it's Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Surfing on our waves of our culture, no more agua. Killing my culture for all these years. Look how time flies, all these colonizers in disguise. Y'all hate, y'all still hate us outside. Study doctor, vampires, the blood of our guilt. They copy the flavor, sip the juice, love the results, hate the truth. Who? Do you like that? Do you like that? Do you like that? Flip your sound, how you like that? Do you like that? Democratic shields, talking points, the road they fill. Fish and chips, agent on the mic, judging FBA, but ain't you half white? Talking like you one of us, we need a pool face. The agent type with a prune face, like 50 and Jim, it's a cold game. Throwing stones cause we built our own lane. I'm joking, kinda, but I mean it. Smile calm, pressure intact. Y'all proud where y'all from, where they flag, beat they drum. But when it's us, tone switch fast. Same pride, but it's too much. FBA pride, lineage solid, you can't put this on, can't try it on. Built here, stayed and fought, that the difference. That's the card. Do you like that? Do you like that? Say it clear, don't twist the facts. Do you like that? Yeah. Do you like that? Do you like that? Point made. Point made. No edit. No edit. No care. No care.
You know, erasing history is something that you have to do when it comes to conquest, domination, and destroying a people. If people knew who they were, and what they were capable of in the past, they will understand what they have a possibility or a likelihood of doing in the future.
Foundational Black Americans, we've always had a culture of resistance. We cultivated a culture of resistance on this land, and we've been resisting ever since we've encountered European domination.
But nothing was really popping in Europe until the transatlantic slave trade, and that's where they amassed a lot of wealth.
One thing that I think is unique about our culture as far as how we resist, how we fight back, is just the environment we were put in from day one. Being only 13% of the population, the white supremacists were very meticulous about keeping that population at a certain amount.
There was never a period when we did not resist the encroachment of the white man.
They have a natural behavior of authority no matter where they go. That's why they'll step up in front of us in the line at the store. We're not important. They don't even see us.
We've never been able to excel. We've never been able to relax. We've never been able to just be, which means that existence is resistance.
It must be something in our DNA, our historical background, to when something doesn't sit right with us, especially spiritually, in our souls and in our spirit, we just say no.
We live resistance. You know, from the moment we're born, we're in resistance. And it's handed down generation to generation.
And so I think that cultural resistance is actually in our DNA, in our epigenetics, and then it blossoms out into the culture.
So there's almost nothing in America that we do, from song to dance to politics to the way we talk, the way we dress, having coded languages considered to be slang today. Everything about Black American culture is a form of resistance.
Of course, they want to always downplay our contributions to the global tapestry because they continue to act like our number one export in this country is not Black innovation.
Everyone understands that our resistance has been the cornerstone of what foundational Black Americans have always done. We are the life that breathes everything into this nation.
The further back you go, the further Black you go. It's just simple like that, brother.
Introducing the B1 Rolodex, the easiest way to search for and support FBA and B1 businesses. Hundreds of entries from the Black grassroots for the Black grassroots. Free to use, free to download, constantly updated. Trouble navigating the document? Try using the map version. Notice a business missing? Use this simple Google form to submit an FBA or B1 business. Also submit anti-Black businesses, which are now being collected in that last tab. Find resources, contact numbers, and much more using the second tab. All the info you need to start practicing group economics today. Go to blacktruthunited.com. That's blacktruthunited.com.
All right, greetings, Black family, greetings, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced. This is season 11, episode 38 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc news. Oops, the smoke is bubbling. And on this season 11, episode 38 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc news, we'll be discussing several topics. The first one is Professor Black's Truth Moment of Truth. 1087. Why the Cambridge Bree shooter is reported differently. Iran strikes 25 warehouses. Israel strikes Israel, 25 warehouses destroyed. Trump tariffs ruled illegal. The dump as in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear. Donald Trump calls for Sambo to be detained over treason claims. Then we got the platform needs to be held accountable. And Nick Cannon's Ugandan accountant stole $2 million, then fled back to Uganda. We are based out of East Denver, North Aurora, Colorado. We get the news from our Front Line and Blacc First perspective. We are a part of the new Blacc Media and also the signal boosters of the new Blacc Media. We have been around for 6 seasons now. Front Line Blacc News, Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced has been around for 11 seasons now. And we have several platforms that are part of the Front Line campaign. Front Line Blacc News is one of the first, which we started back in 2020, 2021. And Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced, which this is based on the 50th anniversary of the founding of the original Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. We started on Blog Talk Radio back in 2016 and have been around for 11 seasons now. Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced covers the Black experience from the beginning of time until 10 minutes ago. It is also part of the Frontline campaign and has recently, within the last 2 to 3 years, moved from Blog Talk Radio to StreamYard. Please make sure y'all like and share the broadcast, family. Please join us on StreamYard, YouTube, Frontline Blacc News. The links to all of our channels are in the description, including Frontline Blacc News. Frontline Blacc News 2, our backup channel. And stay tuned because I'll be doing Frontline Blacc News right after this. Make sure y'all sub to Frontline Blacc News 2 just in case they try to take Frontline Blacc News down again. Then we got my personal page, Jesse Paris, aka Chan Kruma. That's where we stream all the city council meetings for Denver and Aurora and the local Black events in Denver and Aurora and community forums and meetings and stuff like that. And then we got Lady Chase Seduction Doll channel. Make sure y'all sub to that so Lady Chase can start going live on that channel. The link to that is in the description. Then we got her main channel, the RBA. Make sure y'all sub to the RBA. Lady Chase just did an RBA last week, so make sure y'all check that out. We got Cow Dog in the building, certified salute. We got Fresh Always and Cow Dog in here. Salute to y'all. Then we got our cousin, our local off the Bay Area, Jay Militant, to be exact, Fairfield and San Francisco. Make sure y'all sub to his channel, What's Cracking TV with Jay Militant. The link to his channel is also in the description. Then we got our brother out the Mile High, Kukizi, who's on Black Alpha Networks right now, I believe. But he is an MC out of Denver, out of Montbello, Bellside to be exact. And the link to his channel is also in the description, Kukizi 5100. Then we got Breeze Omega, our brother out of VA, Virginia, by way of New York. Make sure you sub to his channel. I was chopping it up with him briefly yesterday before I had to get back to city council. Then he just surpassed 1,000 subscribers, so salute to Breeze. Then we got our brother Church of Black Power, who's originally from Watts, California, Jordan Downs to be exact, and is now in Houston, Texas. Make sure y'all sub to his channel. He's real heavy on the content as well. And then we got our brother Torian Rain Reloaded, who actually put Lisa Cabrera on. So salute to Torian Rain Reloaded. I chopped it up with him earlier this week when he did his weekly recap. I think that was last week. And yeah, last weekend. So make sure y'all check him out. He has like 77,000 subscribers. Let's help make him get 80. Then we got, last but not least, our brother Black Truth United, who's been on hiatus, but did come up with the B1 Rolodex, which is a modern-day green book for FBA and B1 businesses alike. And the link to that is also in the description. The link to his channel is in the description. The link to the Rolodex itself is in the description. And the link to submit your business to the Rolodex is also in the description. And I just played the ad for it, so make sure y'all check out the B1 Rolodex. Then we got Council the Congressional Black Caucus and create a foundational Black Caucus. Black American Caucus. That's long overdue. The link to that petition is in the description. Then we got Sister Brooks' call to action. The link to that is in the description. Submit those letters, submit those emails, so I can get that Freemansboro off the ground in New York State and get them direct lineage cash payments coming to the Black New Yorkers. And then we got FBA New Yorkers, and then we got Lady Chase GoFundMe. Donate to that if you haven't already. And then we got my personal campaign page, support me, Jesse Paris, as you can see, for House District 8. The link to my website is also in the description. Then we got copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. And I do not own the rights to the music. And if you don't understand racism, white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. In all 9 or 10 areas of human and people activity, and that is economics, that is education, that is entertainment, that is labor, that is law, that is politics, that is religion, that is sex, and that is war. And some say healthy nutrition. In all 9 or 10 areas of human and people activity, and that was by the late, great Mr. Nellie Fuller Jr., who transitioned exactly over a year ago now, at the age of 95, ProduceJustice.com. And when you're a Black person or captured by any race soldier, you must never fuss, fight, or flee. Comply and defend yourself in court. Also by Nellie Fuller Jr., ProduceJustice.com. And last but not least, we got racism, white supremacy is conscious and subconscious behavior to maintain white genetic survival, to prevent white genetic annihilation. And that was by the late, great Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, our master teacher, our master scholar. Kicked in the door for Black psychology. And she transitioned exactly 10 years ago at the age of 80. And she would have been 90 as of a month ago. And shout out to our FBA brother, Tariq Nasheed, for paying for her funeral, along with several others. So those are the topics. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Shabaka should be coming in here shortly. So I'm just going to play these clips until Shabaka get in. So the first one's about Cambridge shooter. They're trying to put this on Black people. No, this dude is not FBA. So Professor Black Truth is going to give us an update on that.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. Yesterday around 1 p.m., a man allegedly opened fire on Memorial Drive in Cambridge, Massachusetts, leaving 2 victims with life-threatening injuries. The suspect fired between 50 and 60 shots on a busy road, firing into passing cars and allegedly hitting 2 motorists who are currently listed in critical condition. Now, let me go ahead and say right off the bat, this is clearly a bad thing. Nobody should be out in the streets shooting at passing cars. And while it is true that this kind of thing doesn't necessarily happen every single day, though in the United States you kind of could say that it does, it's also true that nobody's been killed in this particular incident. And that's not to say that this isn't a newsworthy story. Obviously, the man bites dog aspect of this weirdo who's standing on the road firing at cars, that certainly is something that's newsworthy. But it is to say that this story is receiving far more attention than the stories I bring to you every Friday, where people actually get killed. But of course, as soon as the pictures emerged of the suspected gunman, it became very clear why the white media was becoming all infatuated with this story. The alleged shooter has been identified as Tyler Brown of Boston. Now, of course, as we all know, Massachusetts in general and Boston in specific are just rabid cesspools of anti-Black racism. And that's something that needs to be remembered because these places also claim to be oh so liberal. Yeah, just like Chicago, just like California. And yet when it comes to Black people, they are no different than any other red state racist toilet. The way that the so-called authorities there are reacting, you would think that this happened in Ron DeSantis' Florida. But of course, you can't have this kind of thing happen where they think that they've got an allegedly Black gunman to point to without the usual suspects coming out of the woodwork and slinging the slime. Fox News, of course, had to be leading the charge on that one. They have an entire headline talking about outrage after it was found out that the alleged gunman has a criminal record. First of all, there's always outrage after one of these shooting incidents. And this is not a mass shooting, it's a spree shooting. Those aren't just words, by the way. The distinction does matter. The white media tries to use mass shooting and mass murder interchangeably as if they're the same thing, and they're not. They do that deliberately because it's meant to confuse people by blurring the difference. What happened in Cambridge yesterday was not a mass shooting. It doesn't even fit the definition that the white media and its white intermediaries online try to use. This was a spree shooting. Look it up. Yeah. That's what the headlines ought to read. And if the white media actually did information and not indoctrinate.
Most of the black people are in Roxbury, Cow Dog, which is just outside of Boston. Or it's part of Boston, but it's not Boston. There's some black people out there, but the majority of them is in Roxbury.
That's what the headlines would say. Fox News is trying to just stir the pot as usual, because when these incidents happen, there's always outrage. I mean, seriously, when's the last time somebody shot up the place and folks just said, well, that's okay, we don't really have a problem with that? There's always outrage, except from the NRA. They don't seem to be too bothered by these kind of incidents. And Fox News is usually the first to repeat the line about, well, this is the reason why more people need to carry guns. Now, according to the white media story, apparently when the police caught up to this alleged gunman, there was a citizen with a concealed carry permit who apparently was, I don't know, helping the cops shoot at the guy. Now, you would think that Fox News would say, hey, here's an example of how citizens who are well armed are protecting the community from these dangerous black thugs, et cetera, et cetera. That's what you would think the headlines would be, that they would be lauding this passerby citizen who just happened to be armed to the teeth, apparently. They would be making some sort of local celebrity and make a local hero out of the guy. No, as far as Fox News is concerned, forget about this guy with the gun. Now they've forgotten all about the talking point of, well, this is why we need to have more armed citizens so they can protect themselves, et cetera, et cetera. Now what they're saying is, let's just focus on this black guy here. Be afraid, be very afraid. And that's the reason why Fox News is reporting on this breathlessly, as if this is some sort of unique evil circumstance that's never happened before. And this is why I do my crime reports, because I want to document who the real mass shooters are, and also how most of these killings the white media doesn't report on, and it's because the killers are the wrong skin color for mass coverage. These people usually have long criminal records, the ones that I tell you about, and yet you don't see Fox News or any other white media outlet focusing on their criminal past. You got to have somebody like myself who brings that to you. The white media made a bigger deal out of Jordan Neely's priors, and he was the one who was murdered. So as usual, this is a white media racial narrative. They have their templates set up for how they cover these events, and that coverage is color-coded, and how they report on it depends on the skin color of the person being reported on. And look at what Fox News says. Outrage erupted online following a chaotic police-involved shooting in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Outrage erupted online? Online? Seriously? The place where phony white outrage is the order of the day, especially in sewers like Fox News? This is not news. It's societal indoctrination. Because while Fox News and the rest of the white media are only too eager to breathlessly report that this suspected black spree shooter apparently had a criminal record and apparently he had a brush with the law a few years back, the reality is this man also suffers from mental illness, no doubt. Boston 25 News gave only a one-sentence mention in their entire coverage to the fact that, according to law enforcement, Brown had a parole officer, and that parole officer allegedly was concerned for Brown's well-being. It was this parole officer who Brown reportedly was supposed to meet with, who apparently told the Boston police that they couldn't locate Mr. Brown and that he wasn't at his residence. So his parole officer was concerned about his well-being. And why would that be the case? Why be concerned about Mr. Brown's well-being? Obviously, they were concerned that Mr. Brown might hurt himself or someone else. This guy is just like the man who's been charged with killing that Ukrainian woman. This is a guy with a history of mental illness. Now, I'm not saying that if it's proven that he indeed is guilty of a crime, that this basically mitigates that, though the white media likes to do that with other shooters. What I'm saying is, when the person who shoots 20 people dead is from the dominant society, it's always a terrible tragedy. Nobody tries to racially pathologize those killers, even though in most of those cases, they have a rap sheet just like Mr. Brown does. It's not as if he's some sort of outlier or some sort of kook fringe case. He's the norm. That's why if a black person fires off a few rounds, then that's treated as a personal moral failing by that particular black person and the black community by extension. And it's an institutional failing by the society for not having taken harsher measures to make sure you come down hard on those black people. It's always a lack of morality to blame when the shooter is black, but there's no one to blame when the shooter is not. Dylan Roof had a criminal record, and on top of that, he never should have been able to get his hands on a gun. He should never have been able to pass a background check, but the FBI just fumbled the ball on that one, right? And then that bastard went into a black church and killed a bunch of black grandmothers and even the pastor. But Fox News wanted to be the first ones to make excuses for him and run interference for him. And of course, predictably, Fox News made no real mention of Dylan Roof's criminal record. They weren't pointing out that, hey, shouldn't the prosecutors have put this guy in a cage before he was allowed to kill? How in the world did he get his hands on a firearm? In fact, Fox News said the opposite, because it was Republicans who fought for the legal loophole that made it possible for Dylan Roof to get that assault rifle while his FBI background check was allegedly pending. Say, do you remember the headlines from Fox News talking about how people were outraged over that? Me neither. Nicholas Cruz was firing shots from an air pistol in his backyard before he committed his mass murder, and the neighbors were so scared of this weirdo that they even took video of him. He then went on to commit a mass murder at a school. He didn't fire a bunch of shots at random people on the highway, injuring only 2 people. He went into a school and killed 17 people, most of them children. He didn't injure them, he killed them. And while it certainly is not a good thing that anybody is running around just firing off 50 to 60 shots willy-nilly, the question is, why is it that 50 or 60 gunshots with no fatalities is given far more attention than, say, the 10 or 12 shots that are fired that had 5 to 6 fatalities that I tell you about on a weekly basis? What's the real reason that this story is receiving so much attention? Is it because of the man bites dog nature of how he was firing off shots? Because it's certainly not about loss of life. Charlie Kirk said that he and the rest of the white right had a right to politicize the death of that Ukrainian woman. He called it an imperative that the white right had to do everything it could to politically profit off of a dead white woman. Not because she was killed, but because they thought that they could use the color of her alleged assailant to their advantage. That was the part that Charlie Kirk wanted to politicize. But he wasn't alone. The white media also does the exact same thing, and for the exact same reason. This is why at the end of my crime reports, I say that I tell you about the criminals the white media chooses not to show you. Is this incident going to be some pivotal turning point in the white media's anti-black propaganda? No. What it is the steady drumbeat of anti-black rhetoric that continues to intentionally give people the false impression that when a black person is accused of something, then that's because it's the worst crime in human history, and that black people are always doing the worst crimes in human history. Firing off 50 or 60 shots with 2 people injured, as opposed to somebody firing off 20 or 30 shots and killing 17 people. This is something that I thought needed to be emphasized for this morning's briefing because the white media is definitely going to be jumping on it. Part of the reason could be because it happened in Cambridge. That's a college town, and these white media folks, they're always interested in where their kids are going to school. So that's the kind of thing that they will want to give attention to simply because it's more convenient to them. But if that's the case, why is it that you got all of these mass shootings, mass murders that happen on these university campuses? How many of them have black gunmen? Almost none. And yet you don't have the white media or the Fox News is using the word outrage to describe that. No, they don't use the outrage word when describing those shootings, even though they happen on schools and university campuses. So no, I don't think the Cambridge angle flies either. But the reality is they're blowing it out of proportion. Yes, it's important that they report that there was a guy on the highway shooting off dozens of rounds. But when 2 people injured is reported on and treated as an inarguable outrage, and yet you can have almost a dozen people killed, and that's basically just a sad event, that tells you that it's not about the shooting itself that matters. This is about pushing a societal narrative. Because while Mr. Brown fired off dozens of shots, not killing anyone as of this recording, most of those shots not even hitting a target, when it comes to demonizing black people, well, the white media doesn't miss. Good day and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors: Frederica Moore, Cornell Sly, Jonathan Daly, Norma Anthony, and Anisha Huffman. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
Yeah, Professor is right on. It's a whole different narrative they spinning when it's us that's involved, opposed to when it's one of them. So yeah, it just points out the hypocrisy in the white-owned media, the white supremacist media. But yeah, we'll keep y'all updated on this. All right, so moving along. Hopefully Shabaka gets in here. We got Iran strikes Israel, 25 warehouses destroyed. So Lisa gonna give us an update on that.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. I had a hard time getting on. Every time I tried to get on, it said that StreamYard had a high traffic.
Exactly. They're always.
So I guess a lot of people must be on here chattering. Well, I'm glad I finally made it on. I didn't give up. I kept trying. Well, y'all, boy, this is some serious breaking news right here. Do you know I did a video? Probably it was more like the first few weeks of the war. And Israel was trying to find out where Iran was keeping their weapons, because, you know, they keep everything underground. And they were bombing all these random locations, but they were not hitting any of Iran's ammo. Well, last week, Iran met with Russia and China, and they said they hit these Israeli sites with perfect precision. So I believe, and I'm not, you know, I'm just telling you what I think happened. I think at this meeting, Russia and China found out where all of Israel's ammo was and gave it to Iran. That's what I believe happened. Y'all, they took out 50,000 tons of Israeli ammo. They only got like 10% left. You can't tell me somebody didn't tip. Somebody had a map of where, because they said they struck these sites perfectly. So somebody had to figure it out and gave it to Iran. That's how that's what I'm thinking. But the fact that they met with Russia and China just 1 week before this happened, that speaks volumes right there.
And yeah,
that speaks volumes. Do you know it was China that gave Iran a map of where all U.S. military sites and all U.S. military locations, you know, like embassies and stuff, they gave them a whole map. How do you think Iran took out all of these bases? Because they were given information by China. China was able to map where every last base was, and Iran went in there with perfect precision and took every single one out. So what Israel wanted for Iran happened to them. And they're trying hard not to let it come out in the news here, y'all. I got it from foreign news. So that right there. Now, the only one that did talk about it was Laura Ingraham, and I got the clip from her show where she spoke about how the IDF headquarters got taken out. Their headquarters and all of the locations where they were hiding their ammunition all got taken out, y'all.
Yeah, got it.
Now, you can't tell me that the Most High is not guiding Iran. You can't tell me he's not. He's using Iran. He's using them. And we all know what's going to happen to all armies at the end of the war. They all get destroyed. All of them. So, look, y'all, this is deep. This is deep. 50,000 tons of ammo just destroyed. Like Donald Trump said, obliterated. You're going to use your word, Donald Trump. Obliterated. Unbelievable, y'all. So let's get into it. Now, the first video, you're going to hear about this meeting. So what Iran did, they flew to Russia. Their foreign minister flew to Russia. And then immediately after that meeting, he flew to China and met with China. And then all of a sudden, this happens. Y'all, this is no way this is a coincidence.
Right.
No way. I don't believe in that anyway, but I'm just saying. All right. Yeah, so it doesn't leave Israel with very much to fight with now. And, you know, a lot of people are saying they have lost. They have lost. They don't have nothing to fight with. They don't really care. They really can't continue to bomb Lebanon like they were. They really can't do anything. What are you going to do with 10% of your ammo? And it's not like they can get it from somewhere else because the U.S. ain't got crap either. So it's not like they can get more from the U.S. They can't because the U.S. don't hardly have nothing. You know, maybe y'all should have made nice with a lot more people on this earth. You know what I mean? But you didn't. So that's your problem. All right.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and share. Before I do that, I do want to give you a reminder. The 12th Tribe on Earth new Botana Oil Shampoo, Deep Conditioner, and Leave-In Conditioner is still on sale. So you have today and tomorrow to grab this up if you really want it before it goes to the regular price. All right. So it is taking a nice discount off. And because, you know, it's over $35, you're not even getting hit with shipping charges. So you're really getting the 35% off plus free shipping. So you can't beat that. So grab yours today. It's on Etsy. And I have all of the information in my community tab. Make sure you use second year to get your discount, or you can just use the link that I have in the community tab, and that'll give you the automatic discount. All right, y'all. Let me what we are here for. All right, y'all. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Man, this is huge. This is huge. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
This is huge breaking news coming in. Iran is playing the real 4D chess right now. Today, Iran's foreign minister arrived in Russia to meet Putin and strengthen ties between the two countries. And a few days ago, he was in China doing the same. Both are Iran's biggest allies and the biggest rivals of America. And Iran is doing all of this while rejecting direct talks with the U.S. And very important thing to understand is Trump said Iran can call him, but Iran is calling everyone except America. And Russia and China are two permanent members of the UN Security Council, major military powers, and key economic partners for Tehran. By visiting both capitals back to back, Iran is showing that it has other options besides Washington. It is trying to build diplomatic support, protect trade routes, and gain leverage before any future negotiations. But at the same time, this strategy carries risks. Closer alignment with Moscow and Beijing may anger Washington further and increase sanctions or military pressure. But from Iran's view, it creates a stronger negotiating position. So right now, Iran is not saying no to diplomacy forever. It is saying it wants to choose the timing, the partners, and the terms before dealing with the U.S. Make sure to follow for latest updates.
Trey, I know they don't want you to show it, but how badly was their version of the Pentagon, Israel's version of the Pentagon, hit by these attacks?
I'm going to have my cameraman just pan up to this building here that is on the compound of the Kiryat. And you can see these are likely offices. The building just next to it I've been in many times. But there is significant damage. They have teams there just trying to ensure that no one was inside at the time. Likely when the missile attack happened, any senior officials that would have been inside their version of the Pentagon would have been underground. but there is damage to it. And again, this just speaks to the types of targets that the Iranians are hitting. They are targeting military installations, and this is expected to escalate because they have advanced missiles. We have seen them provide the Russians with these very missiles that they are using against Ukraine. Now they are using these advanced ballistic missiles to target Israel. And again, despite the fact that there is some advanced missile defense systems that are on the ground here, from David's Sling to the Arrow 2 and 3 system, and the American systems, the Patriot system and the THAAD system, it is not enough to stop this incoming fire. And when we were live earlier today around the 2 p.m. hour, it was so intense in Tel Aviv that they were not able to shoot down the missiles with these advanced systems. And as the missiles kept slipping past the air defense, they started to use smaller systems in an attempt to shoot them down. And we saw missiles slamming into the ground, causing significant damage and killing at least one person. And so as we move forward here, it is very clear that the conflict that is erupting now between Israel and Iran is different than anything that the region has seen. And it is substantially different from the conflict that has been ongoing for more than 600 days between Israel and Hamas inside Gaza. These ballistic missiles make the rockets that were being fired from Gaza look like toys. It is causing significant damage, wiping entire apartment blocks off of the map.
So short that no resupply operation, however well resourced, can reverse the trajectory before it becomes irreversible. I want to address something directly that has been absent from most of the coverage of this situation, because I think the American media's framing of Washington's response is a political failure misses the operational reality entirely. The United States did not fail to resupply the Northern Front because of a lack of political will or a failure of alliance commitment. It failed because the operational conditions that Iran created in 48 hours made emergency resupply physically impossible within any timeline relevant to the front's survival. Understanding that distinction matters because it tells us something important about the nature of the strategic challenge that Iran has constructed. The standard American emergency military resupply pathway for Israel runs through Ben Gurion International Airport for air delivery and through Ashdod and Haifa ports for sea delivery. The Iranian campaign that destroyed the Northern Front's ammunition depots was preceded by and conducted in coordination with the port and airfield strikes that I analyzed in previous breakdowns. By the time the depot destruction campaign was complete and Washington's assessment teams had determined that emergency resupply was operationally necessary, the receiving infrastructure through which that resupply would flow had already been rendered non-functional. The airlift option, the fastest available pathway for emergency precision munitions. Delivery requires a functional receiving airfield with adequate runway length, cargo handling equipment, fuel availability, and security environment to operate heavy lift aircraft safely. Ben Gurion's runway was cratered before the depot campaign began. Raoni Airport was non-functional. The military airfields with adequate cargo capacity were destroyed in the base strikes. American military engineers assessed runway repair timelines at the least damaged facility at a minimum of 14 days under optimal conditions. Optimal conditions meaning no follow-on strikes against repair operations, which the operational environment did not provide. The maritime option, the higher throughput pathway for bulk munitions delivery, requires functional port infrastructure. Ashdod and Haifa were non-functional. The improvised alternatives that American logistics planners assessed, beach landing operations, helicopter sling load delivery, improvised transfer from vessels anchored offshore, each provide a fraction of a % of the throughput required to replace 50,000 tons of destroyed depot inventory within a militarily relevant time frame. What strikes me as particularly significant about this situation, and I want to be clear that this represents my own professional assessment rather than any official position, is the degree to which the Iranian operational planning anticipated and specifically defeated the American resupply response. The sequencing of the campaign port strikes first, base strikes second, depot strikes third was not random. It was designed to ensure that when the depot strikes created the resupply requirement, the infrastructure needed to execute that resupply had already been eliminated. The American response was defeated before it began, not because of American failures and execution, but because the operational environment had been specifically engineered to make the execution impossible. There is a question that I find myself returning to repeatedly in analyzing this conflict, because I think it gets at something fundamental about why the outcome of these 48 hours was strategically possible in a way that the Western analytical community consistently failed to anticipate. The question is this: what does it actually mean in operational terms for one side in a conflict to be genuinely self-reliant and for the other side to be genuinely dependent? And how does that difference express itself when the conflict reaches the kind of sustained intensity that tests the limits of both Iran's military capability in this conflict, the targeting intelligence, the weapon systems, the operational planning capacity, the logistics that sustain the campaign flows from a foundation built entirely within Iran's own borders through Iran's own industrial capacity, funded by Iran's own resources and directed by Iran's own strategic judgment? No element of the operational campaign that destroyed the Northern Front's ammunition supply required the approval, the cooperation, or the continuing support of any external actor. Russia provided caliber missiles that enhanced the campaign's reach and penetration capability. China provided technology cooperation that enhanced guidance precision, but the decision to act, the timing of the action, the target selection, and the operational execution were entirely Iranian, subject to no external veto, no supply chain dependency, no political conditionality.
Night with a number that I need you to understand, not abstractly, but operationally, 50,000 tons. That is the weight of the ammunition stockpile that Iran destroyed in the past 24 hours in a strike against IDF forward arsenal infrastructure. 50,000 tons of artillery shells, tank rounds, mortar bombs, small arms ammunition, anti-tank missiles, air defense interceptors, and the full spectrum of munitions that a modern army requires to sustain combat operations across multiple simultaneous active fronts. Let me give you a sense of what 50,000 tons actually represents in operational terms, because I think the human mind, accustomed to thinking about ammunition in the context of individual rounds, individual magazines, individual weapons, struggles to translate a tonnage figure into operational reality. The United States Army consumed approximately 15,000 tons of ammunition per month during the height of combat operations in Iraq in 2004 and 2005, a period of intense urban warfare across multiple simultaneous fronts that placed extraordinary demands on American logistics. The Israeli Defense Forces, conducting combat operations across multiple active fronts simultaneously in a conflict of the intensity that the current engagement represents, consume ammunition at a rate that military logisticians estimate at somewhere between 8,000 and 12,000 tons per month, depending on operational tempo.
Yes, you know, that would be right, because back in 2025, Israel single-handedly, I think they fought like 5 different countries. You know, I tell you what, y'all, I want y'all to think about it. You know how in the Bible it says the Most High will clear off the land? If you don't have no ammunition to fight with, you can best believe that land is going to get cleared off. When you really think about what at this point, you're a sitting duck and you lost the majority of your weaponry. Yeah, see, that's one way to clear off land. You can best believe that, you know? So I'm going to get past some of these old dry ass men. Okay.
The real questions. How did Iran identify, target, and eliminate 90% of IDF supply routes inside a single coordinated operational campaign? What does the sequencing of that campaign reveal about the depth and duration of Iranian strategic planning? What does supply chain collapse actually mean in human and operational terms for 120,000 soldiers? The fuel mathematics, the ammunition arithmetic, the food timeline, and the point at which physical deprivation translates into military incapacity that no amount of tactical skill can overcome. Why was the United States, with all of its carrier groups and heavy lift aircraft and logistical infrastructure, unable to execute the emergency resupply operation that Israel's survival required? And what does that inability reveal about the true limits of American power projection in a genuinely contested operational environment? And finally, what comes next? Who holds the initiative now? And what does the Middle East look like on the other side of this collapse? If you have been looking for analysis that goes past the headline and into the operational reality, stay with me, because what comes next is where this story becomes genuinely consequential. The operational architecture of what Iran executed over these 5 days was not improvised. I want to make that absolutely clear, because the instinct in Western commentary is to attribute military success by non-Western actors to luck, to confusion on the other side, to some operational anomaly that explains away the result without requiring a fundamental revision of the underlying assumptions. That instinct is wrong in this case. What Iran executed was the product of years, and I do not use that word loosely, of systematic intelligence collection, target development, and operational planning. It was a 5-phase campaign in which each phase addressed a specific layer of the IDF logistics system, and in which the sequencing was designed with one explicit objective: to ensure that the destruction of each layer prevented any surviving layer from compensating. To understand why this campaign worked, you have to first understand what a modern army's supply chain actually looks like. The popular image, trucks driving to the front with boxes of ammunition, is approximately as accurate as describing a modern jet fighter as a flying machine with guns. A military logistics system is a complex, interdependent architecture with multiple nodes.
Just admit that Iran outfoxed you. They outfoxed Israel and they outfoxed the United States. Just freaking admit it. How did they get this? They were smart. Somebody did their homework. See, this is what military strategies are all about. You got somebody highly intelligent, or a group that's highly intelligent in military strategies, and they can sit down and come up with ideas and then implement those ideas. But instead of doing that, the United States want to fire everybody and then use, really, it's racism, and you want to hide behind DEI, and what you're doing is really racist. Okay, we've seen this play out before. The bottom line is you got outfoxed by Iran. Just admit it. All this, how did they do this? How did, obviously, they did their homework. They did their research. They were able to locate where all of this ammo was across Israel, and they targeted, and they got it right. Okay, that's something that y'all don't do. You want to go out there and throw some random bombs around. They did their homework. And I think y'all just can't accept that they outfoxed you in this whole war. Not only with the physical war, but also strategically And even the social media war, they're kicking your ass. You have been upstaged. You need to just admit, y'all were not ready for this war. You ain't ready for prime time. And Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump heading the war, you couldn't have two worse people in charge of the war. You know, very bad people in high positions. That's all we got in the Trump administration. We got terrible people in high positions. That's about all we got when it comes down to the Trump administration. Y'all ain't shit. That's why you lost the war and the world is seeing y'all ain't shit. Well, I have to give a high five to Iran. They did their homework and got the shit right.
Yeah, Lisa. Oh.
So what are you going to do sitting over in that land surrounded by enemies? And how are you going to defend yourself? Because the U.S. can't resupply you. So what are y'all going to do? They're in a lot of trouble right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, you don't want to admit the brown people outfoxed you over there, because those are brown people too over in the Middle East. So them brown people outfoxed you. So much for them high IQs. Isn't Donald Trump always talking about somebody got a low IQ? Well, I tell you what, Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, and your whole administration, you have ran this country like low IQ people. So, and it shows. And I'm glad that you can't even hide. Donald Trump still try to hide behind lies and get on there. We obliterated them and we obliterated them. Like that's really so convincing that people believe that, Donald Trump. Nobody believes that shit. Yeah, I mean, Israel, you might as well surrender at this point. You 10%. That's all you got to fight with that's left. Y'all might as well go ahead and surrender for real. You don't have nothing to fight with. You can't even fight Lebanon anymore. Y'all can't fight nobody. Because if you use up that 10%, you really are screwed.
Mm-hmm.
U.S., who was your biggest supplier, can't even fend for themselves right now. And thanks to Donald Trump, he got in a war knowing, and Pete Hegseth, knowing you didn't have enough ammo, but y'all want us to believe y'all got all the brains, you got all the knowledge, you got all the smarts, and it's a load of bullshit. It's a load of bullshit.
Yep.
So anyway, y'all, I just wanted to update you on this because I knew this was explosive news. Yep. Explosive. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Now we're going to talk about a couple of things. Now on tap, I have Donald Trump's health. Donald Trump recently went back to Walter Reed. They have kept this out of the news. It has leaked out. And his health is being questioned because Donald Trump seems to be going back and forth to Walter Reed, y'all, an awful lot. Mm-hmm. Even the residents of D.C. are capturing his helicopter going back and forth on their cameras. Mm. Okay, they said they hear that helicopter overhead taking him to Walter Reed all the time. And they're keeping it out of the media. So we're going to talk about that a little later. Mm. And we're also going to talk about Donald Trump's tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
Have been declared by a federal court as illegal. Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal. So we paying all these high prices, which Donald Trump's tariffs have everything to do with. Mm. We're paying all these high prices and we never really had to pay these high prices. But Donald Trump sent these tariffs out all over the globe illegally, leaving us with the bag to pay. And we've been paying like hell ever since.
Yeah.
And they said the only ones that are getting a refund, tariff refund, are businesses and not the consumers. And it's the consumers that have been carrying the load in this country. That's why everything is astronomical. And it's a lot to do with those illegal tariffs that he put out. Now, the businesses are getting refunds, but not the people. And Donald Trump recently did an interview, y'all. He said he don't give a shit about the oil prices going up. He don't care if it hits $200 a barrel.
Okay.
This is what Donald Trump said. But if it hits $200 a barrel, gas is going to be double digits everywhere, all over this country for a gallon of gas. And this man is sitting there saying he don't care if it hits $200 per barrel. Boy, we know we got some idiots running this place for real. So, y'all, I will see you at 1:45. That's my next live. And don't forget to pick up your Botana oil products over on Etsy. Shalom, family.
Shalom, Lisa. Yeah, so Iran was whooping Israel's ass, y'all. Like, this shit crazy. They found a stash of weaponry and blew it to smithereens. They bit off more than they could chew messing with Iran. All right, well, moving along, like Lisa already alluded to, the tariffs have been ruled illegal. So she's going to give us an update on that as well. I don't know where the hell Shabaka is. Hopefully he gets in here before I end this.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about Donald Trump's tariffs with, they have done a lot of damage to our economy. Even before the war, people were complaining about the prices. I know I was, especially of food, and the energy bills were higher. And now the gas prices have been badly impacted, and they were a little elevated even before the war. But now there's no going back, y'all. And people are talking about, it probably won't go down until sometime in 2027. I don't believe these prices are going to go down at all. I don't. I mean, if it does, it's going to be for a brief moment and it's going to go back up. And being that you got a president that don't care how high oil goes, it doesn't impact him, so he doesn't care. But it does impact people that rely on their cars and SUVs for transportation. And even if you pay for public transportation, that's going to go up because of what it requires for you to even use public transportation. So a court has ruled Donald Trump's global tariffs as illegal. So what have we been paying these high prices for? Why have we been paying all of this? Well, they are now giving what they call tariff refunds. But the only one getting the refund, y'all, are businesses. There are no refunds offered to the consumer, and the consumer is the one that's been digging deepest in their pockets to pay for these tariffs. So, as usual, it's always, big business and people that already got money that will benefit, and the ones that are struggling out here that really should be getting something back is the public. And what happened to that $5,000 Doge check, Donald Trump. What happened to that? I thought we were all going to get $5,000 because y'all found all this spending and fraud and everything going on. I know y'all didn't find crap, but this is what you put out there. And, we haven't heard about those $5,000 refund checks since. It was supposed to be a stimulus, remember? Yeah, that doesn't exist. It never did. I think that was just to shut the public up. That's all. So, y'all, let me, Dark Skin Brother, thank you for the 3 gifted channel memberships. Thank you for that. And thank you for your support. Antithesis, thank you again for your super chat. Alcha supporting. Thank you so much for your support. And Dark Skin Brother, thank you for the super sticker and your support for my channel. Thank you so much. Yeah, so let's get started, y'all. Donald Trump has done nothing but cost us a lot of unnecessary spending and money. Now, but one business he has completely disrupted, and it has not been the same since, is farming. And we know these are white farmers that had illegals. And, there are stories coming out in New Jersey because a lot of those illegals worked in this state as well. And these farmers are crying for help because everything is about to go under for them. And I don't feel bad because, number one, they voted for this. Farmers in this country, white farmers I'm referring to, overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. So not only did you vote for the tariffs, you also voted for your workers that were illegal to be deported. So now that you got what you want, now y'all complaining? Why? Y'all, no matter how you look at it, y'all still got opportunities that Black farmers never got. Okay, they never got contracts to work with different nations abroad. They never, but y'all had those opportunities, but they didn't. So when they talk as if we should feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for y'all. You should have thought about what Donald Trump was saying and realize it was going to impact you, but you thought you were exempt. And they also thought we were coming as soon as the illegals were deported out of here, that we were going to come, and work their farms. We ain't coming and doing that back-breaking work ever again. Our people have paid our dues, and we're not coming under y'all like that anymore, because out on those farms, that's where y'all are abusive. You're abusive, because I even read about stories where y'all were abusive to these illegals, putting your hands on them and everything. So no, nobody is coming to do that back-breaking work while you standing there yapping your mouth and insulting and demeaning people. Those times are over. You are never going to have it like that ever again, for real. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And don't forget to pick up your Botano oil products. They are on sale today and tomorrow, and then the sale will end. Okay.
This is not just a temporary blip. This is not something that farmers can work around. No one anticipated that we would have a shock to the system. All the experts did not see this coming when we see this rise in fertilizer prices because of this war. And really, no one's really seeing a way out.
That shock to the system means that diesel now is more than $5 a gallon, and fertilizer costs are up more than 30%. adding thousands of dollars of new costs to already strained farmers we met, like Aaron Lehman.
When something like this happens, farmers just have to take the hit somehow and find a way to get a crop in the ground this year.
President Trump's trade policies and tariff whiplash have made it far more uncertain to sell soybeans and corn. Another worry as a new season of planting begins.
We get one chance to plant and we get one chance to harvest, and that's it for the year. So we get one try every single year. And so even like in my lifetime, I might get 30 tries at this. That really puts things into perspective of like, I only, the prices of fertilizer, seed, whatever, like could go crazy. But like we can't not plant. We still have to go out and plant the crop.
And now the Strait of Hormuz may be more than 7,000 miles away from Iowa. But even with the fragile ceasefire, what's happening there is having a direct ripple effect here. The question, will it impact the midterm elections?
I think farmers are becoming more and more aware that you need to say to our elected leaders, what are you saying about the fertilizer situation? What are you saying about the trade situation? Are we going to stand up to these things that are hurting us, or are we not?
Well, a federal trade court rules President Trump's 10% across-the-board tariffs are illegal. The court ruled 2-1 to that the administration was not justified to enact the tariffs under a decades-old trade law. Trump imposed the tariffs after the Supreme Court struck down his most sweeping levies earlier this year. The administration is expected to appeal that decision, and it only applies right now to 3 plaintiffs, the state of Washington and 2 small businesses. The tariffs can stay in place for other importers through July.
Breaking news that's coming in of another major legal setback for Donald Trump and his global tariff war. A U.S. court has ruled that the U.S. president violated the law when he imposed 10% tariffs on most U.S. imports. The Court of International Trade found that Trump wrongly involved a decades-old law when he applied the duties in February. Remember, those tariffs were imposed after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down his previous set of sweeping tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners.
Breaking news tonight, according to Politico, a federal trades court has just ruled that Trump's replacement tariffs, well, those are illegal too. This was a very divided 3-judge panel on the U.S. Court of International Trade. They concluded today that Trump's 10% global tariffs are unlawful. They ruled that Donald Trump unlawfully used Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974 to impose a 10% global tariff. The backup plan that Donald Trump implemented after the Supreme Court earlier this year struck down his global tariffs, if you recall. Now, the court did not issue a nationwide relief just yet to the companies that have paid tariffs so far. These were companies that paid or continued to pay the tariffs even after the Supreme Court struck it down, probably because they were scared, because Donald Trump immediately said he had a backup plan. So these businesses unreluctantly still paid. So I will keep following this story for you guys. Don't forget to share this and follow along for more.
Good news, everybody. We just learned that the Court of International Trade has struck down Donald Trump's second attempt to impose tariffs on the American people. This is a ruling that comes out of a lawsuit that was filed by my office and other Democratic AGs. These tariffs would have imposed totally unnecessary and damaging costs on Arizonans and the rest of the country. So great decision out of the court, and we'll just continue to fight for Arizonans and continue to stand up to federal overreach.
A federal court dealt another blow to tariffs issued by President Donald Trump. The Court of International Trade found the 10% tariffs were illegal.
Trump just lost on tariffs for the second time in a row yesterday, and the courts are forcing him to pay back $166 billion of your money.
Nothing surprises me with the courts. Nothing surprises me. So we always do it a different way. We get one ruling and we do it a different way.
Here's what happened. Earlier this year, Trump slapped sweeping tariffs on everything America imports. The Supreme Court looked at it and said, this is illegal. You exceeded your authority. So what did Trump do? he went and found a different law. Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974 reimposed the same 10% tariffs on February 24th through the back door. Same taxes, different label, and told Americans it was completely legal. Yesterday, the Court of International Trade said no again, 2-1. Trump's own lawyers admitted in court they wanted the phrase balance of payments deficit to mean whatever they needed it to mean, basically giving the president unlimited power to tax Americans whenever he wants. The judge said that is unconstitutional and rejected it completely. Now, here are the numbers. The first round of illegal tariffs alone cost importers tens of billions of dollars. Costs passed directly to you at the checkout. The government now owes Americans more than $166 billion back. First refund payments start next week. 2 courts, 2 losses. $166 billion in illegal taxes being paid back. And Trump is already preparing a third attempt using yet another law. The Supreme Court said no, the trade court said no yesterday, but Trump keeps coming back. Because at the end of the day, this was never about trade policy. This was about one man deciding he had the right to tax 330 million Americans without asking Congress. 2 courts disagree, and the money is coming back.
Had an unfortunate ruling out of the Supreme Court, but the good news is I'm able to do it a different way. They said use the other way. There was no reason for that. It was terrible, actually terrible, but it'll have no impact other than I hate to pay people back tariffs, $159 billion. I have to pay them back when a little half sentence, any money taken in to this point does not have to be paid back. We would have saved $159 billion, and I cannot figure it out. How could anybody do that? But they did it.
The Trump administration had suffered yet another loss over tariffs, this time a U.S. trade court ruling against the president's attempt to impose new 10% global tariffs, finding they are not justified under a 1970s law.
Trump just lost on tariffs again, and this fight is getting bigger. Earlier this year, Trump imposed sweeping tariffs on imported goods. Critics challenged them in court, arguing he exceeded presidential authority.
Nothing surprises me with the courts. Nothing surprises me. So we always do it a different way. We get one ruling and we do it a different way.
After one legal setback, Trump's team turned to a different law, Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974, to reimpose a 10% tariff under a new justification. But yesterday, the Court of International Trade ruled against that move in a 2-1 decision. Judges rejected the argument that the president could broadly define a balance of payments deficit to justify tariffs without limits. Now, the economic impact is becoming the center of the debate. Importers say these tariffs raise costs by tens of billions of dollars, with many businesses passing those costs directly to consumers through higher prices. Trump's opponents say this proves the policy was never really about trade. It was about expanding presidential power over the economy without Congress. Trump's allies argue the tariffs are necessary to protect American industries and pressure foreign competitors. 2 major court losses in a row. And reports say Trump's team is already exploring another legal path to bring the tariffs back again.
In early July, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney confirmed what many had suspected. Canada is moving ahead with a proposed pipeline connecting Alberta's oil fields to the Pacific coast. This east-west pipeline would allow Canadian oil to bypass American refineries entirely, a strategic shift at a time when U.S. tariffs are rising. According to former U.S. Energy Secretary Dan Brouillette, Canada's push is more than economic. It's political. With American refiners buying most of Canada's oil, the country has long been boxed in. This pipeline could change that. But oil isn't the only focus. In British Columbia, LNG Canada has now shipped its first cargo of liquefied natural gas to North Asia. The $40 billion project, the largest private investment in Canadian history, has capacity for 14 million tons annually, and it could double. Suddenly, Canada is no longer just exporting energy to the United States. It's entering the global market.
Well, as you know, it addresses 2 key priorities for the Carney government. One, trade diversification, which is the new mantra in response to Trump's tariffs. So it fits into that. It also fits into the other objective of Canada becoming an energy superpower.
Why does this matter now? Because nearly 97% of Canada's oil and gas exports still go to the U.S. That's been a long-standing vulnerability. It means lower prices, less production, and no access to rising demand overseas. But LNG is shifting that. Asia now accounts for over 70% of global LNG demand. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and China are looking to cut coal use and need reliable natural gas. Canada, with its Pacific coastline, has a key advantage. A tanker from British Columbia reaches Asia in half the time it takes from the US Gulf Coast. That means Canada can compete and win. If this shift continues, Canada could significantly reduce its reliance on American buyers. And in a trade negotiation, that matters. It changes the power dynamic. Because if Trump continues to use tariffs as pressure, Canada now has an option. Redirect supply away from the US, not just in theory, but in real volume. This is no longer a bluff. It's infrastructure in motion.
North Asia story. The project comes as Canada looks to diversify its trading relationships outside of the U.S.
The United States might be the world's top oil producer with a record 13.4 million barrels per day in July 2025, according to the Energy Information Administration. But production is only one part of the equation. Delivery is another. America still faces challenges building the pipeline capacity needed to move that oil. It also relies heavily on stable imports.
We've just learned in the last few minutes that the Trump administration is going to appeal that latest court ruling that seeks to knock down the next portion of his tariff agenda. So just in the last couple of minutes, the administration filing that appeal, sending the case to the Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit. And remember, this was the Court of International Trade ruling late last night, 2-1, that the president's Section 122 tariffs, as they're known, were unlawful. These are the tariffs that were essentially the replacement for the IEEPA tariffs. After the Supreme Court ruled in February that the president could not go that direction to impose global 10% across the board tariffs, then he used this new statute. But CIT found last night that this one also could not apply to get these tariffs in place. I will say, Kelly, this one is a pretty narrow ruling. It only applies to the plaintiffs in the case, 2 small businesses, as well as the state of Washington. That means that even while this appeal is ongoing, the tariff does remain in place for most importers for now. We could see more court cases filed to try to get a broader injunction. For now, the tariff is in place while the administration appeals this up. Kelly.
All right, y'all. Tariffs seem scammy to me anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Now, my next live will be at 3:45, and we are going to talk about Donald Trump. You know, he's been taking several trips to Walter Reed, and, you know, the media, as usual, is being quiet about it. So, you know, something he said maybe like a week or so ago, when you remember when he was boasting about his cognitive test? He said there were 5. Why would 5 doctors need to be in the room with you for something like that? But that's what he said. He was like, oh, there was 5 doctors in the room and I did my test and they said, oh, it's the highest we ever, you know how he talks. Oh, it's the highest we ever seen, the highest. And, you know, nobody said that crap to him. So anyway, Donald Trump, why would you need 5 doctors in the room with you unless something is wrong? I never heard of 5 doctors need to be in the room when you're taking a cognitive test. Never heard of that. So anyway, y'all, I will see you at 3:45. Don't forget to pick up your hair products. And let me just look one more time. Dark Skin Brother, thank you for the super chat. I think I called it a super sticker before. Shalom, Lisa, my warrior sister, and shalom, brothers and sisters in the chat. And thank you again for your support for my channel. All right, shalom, family.
All right, so the dumps tariffs have been ruled illegal.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about a rant that Donald Trump.
Okay, so now, now that the tariffs have been deemed illegal, the dump is going after Osambo. Calls for Osambo to be detained over treason claims. So Lisa, once again, gonna give us an update on that.
Went on last night on Truth Social, and he was ranting about the ballroom and ranting about Obama. I don't know why he's so obsessed with Obama, but then again, these folks are obsessed with anything melanated, you know, especially us. Not all, because they're not obsessed with the Latinos or anybody, or even the Africans. But, you know, so he went on this rant and said that Obama has committed treason and he should be arrested. And I'm like, your ass is in the Epstein files and your ass should be arrested, Donald Trump. Donald Trump talked like everybody is a bigger criminal than him. And the fact that he's a 34 convicted felon, if anybody else got hit with 34 convictions, they would be jailed right now because he is a rich white male. This is the only reason why he's not behind bars. And we all know that's why Donald Trump wanted to be president, because he feared going to jail. But it's amazing. He's so typical. They fear going to jail, but they love putting other people in there, though. So I don't see how Obama committing treason is worse than the Epstein files. And you haven't proven that he committed treason. Number two, Donald Trump. I don't understand why you keep ranting. It sounds like, I have to agree, it sounds like sundowning at night, because you be on these rants at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, when most people are sleeping. You're raving online every night. And that's got to be sundowning. And then during the day, you dozing off. Yeah, because at your age, you can't even stay awake around the clock like that. That would be tough even for a younger person, especially if they are actively working. They can't be up all night long and then jump out the bed and go to work. Yeah, somewhere along the line, you're going to get tired. You can't do that day in and day out. And it does not catch up to you. Of course it will. So here's why MAGA and Donald Trump are saying it's treason. Obama recently went to Canada and met with leaders, and they said that was treason. Well, Donald Trump, didn't you invite Netanyahu and his wife to Mar-a-Lago before you were elected as president? Is that treason? Because you got pictures. There are pictures of Netanyahu and his wife at Mar-a-Lago.
Greetings, Shabaka. You missed.
Yeah, what's going on, man? This damn computer's out here fucking with me again.
Oh, man. All right, so you missed the first 3 topics. I went over why the Cambridge Bree shooter is reported differently in the white media. The Iran conflict with Israel and the U.S.
Yeah.
Iran strikes Israel, 25 warehouses destroyed. And then, so that means they only have 10% of their supply left, Israel. Then, Trump's tariffs have been ruled illegal.
Right. They should have been. But see, now the fucked up part about that is they're going to rule the tariffs as illegal, right? But they're not going to bring down none of the fucking prices. They're just not going to raise them up.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And now we're on to the dump calls for Osambo to be detained over treason claims. So Lisa just trying to give us the update on that when you tap in.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
That Trump really hates Osambo, don't he?
So Lisa was basically saying everything that you be saying. He's a 34 count convicted felon.
Right.
that had that many felonies or convictions would be in prison right now.
Right.
The only reason why he's not is because he's a rich white man.
No, those are essentially the facts. You know what I'm saying? You know, to the utmost of his ability, that's what he is. And the fucking jailbird, the next time he gets on jailbird, they should land it to the closest federal goddamn jail and book his ass.
And we got Cowdog in here, we got Nobby in here, and we got Fred always.
Oh, greetings all. Okay, let's see here. Goddess Navi, damn, Israel got caught slipping like that. Very bad. Okay. Okay, now Cowdog is saying something here. Yeah, we got to start being geopolitical too. Now, the only reason why we as black folk cannot be geopolitical, man, is because you got all these brain dead ass tethers on the goddamn continent. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in the diaspora.
Yeah.
See, you know, they paying more attention to being related to their master as opposed to getting away from the son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're allowing their master to rape the resources.
Yeah.
Feet.
Yeah, exactly. And they just standing there capitulating with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's where Lisa was at when you tapped in. So I'm gonna let the video continue. She's
right.
talking Sambo being potentially charged with treason based off of the accusation that Trump has made.
Okay. Well, Osambo ain't did nothing for us. So what the fuck do we care about Osambo?
Yeah.
What the fuck did he do for
And
us?
this is when Donald Trump was still on the campaign trail. He did not even have the presidency. And Netanyahu was at Mar-a-Lago. So is that treason too? You know, y'all need to cut the crap on these double standards. You are not anything different or better. You need to get out of
bullshit, honey.
Nobody is believing it. So anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen. And I just want to also give you the reminder that this is the final day of the sale. And yes, the promo code still works because I've been getting orders all day long and people are using the promo and getting the discount. So yes, it still works. It should work all the way up until 11:59 tonight. And then the sale will be over at midnight. All right. Okay, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Well, you know, Donald Trump, I think, is jealous of Obama. Number one, Obama had a better presidency than Donald Trump. Number two, Obama, I don't care for Obama, but he's definitely smarter than Donald Trump. It don't take a rocket scientist to see it. And I think Michelle is smarter than Melania. You know, Melania lied about her college education. Melania does not have a college education. But when Donald Trump first took office, and you remember Melania stole Michelle Obama's entire speech, that alone tells me she's not that bright. And anyway, she had lied about having a college degree, and come to find out Melania don't have a college degree at all. So she lied. She lied. Now, Michelle Obama, she is an attorney. She went to law school. She went to both Yale and Harvard. And Melania didn't go no damn where. And you can tell she don't talk like someone that have a college education. She talks like somebody that barely made it out of high school.
That brought us a damn porno
it's
trap. What
amazing
the
how
fuck do you
she and Donald
expect?
Trump
Come
are
on.
pathological liars. But we're supposed to just take their word that Obama is committing treason. Okay. The world is definitely bizarro. So Y'all, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Oh, never mind. I see your 1s. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Overnight, Donald Trump posted dozens of times on Truth Social calling for President Obama's arrest, calling President Obama the most, quote, demonic force in American politics, suggesting that President Obama received $120 million from Obamacare, and more in a lengthy tirade that spanned over 30 posts in a matter of minutes. It's not a surprise to see the president struggle to stay awake during the day when he's up all night, ranting on Truth Social and reposting just absurd claims. None of his claims are actually true. And the reason I even make these videos are because for years, the right attacked President Biden for not being fully fit to serve. Staying up all night and posting radical claims, calling for the arrest of President Obama, saying that President Obama is treasonous, all of these things. I mean, that is, any media personnel should look at that and say, that's not fully fit either. And this is not a just let Trump be Trump moment. Presidents should be held to a higher standard. Spread the word, follow for more.
Donald Trump just called for the arrest of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton for treason. Be very clear what's happening here. He's having a systematical meltdown right in front of the nation because, one, he's got a lot of problems. How do I know? Because he's had several MRIs over the last 15 months. Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't know the difference between a CAT scan and an MRI until this month. Because this month, I had a small stroke. I'm okay. I got very lucky. But the reason I understand this is because I had a CAT scan, and I had an MRI. And in both cases, the MRI particularly was a big deal. They don't do MRIs on people unless there's something really wrong. They have done in the last 15 months an MRI on this man roughly 3 to 4 times. You don't do that on someone unless there's some series of problems that are really, really bad. No way in the world Obama had, or Biden had, or Reagan, or any of had 3 MRIs within 15 months. He's approaching death. It's coming up. It's time. I said he'd be gone by July. Honestly, if he's gone, and I say this again, J.D. Vance end could be even worse. It's not a time for celebration. It's a time to get ready to keep fighting and keep focused and jump in on J.D. Vance's ass. But here's the real truth about this, and I want you to understand, is that we're dealing with someone who is systematically breaking down. Again, I'm okay. Lifestyle changes I was already doing before, but now it's really happening so I can get better. Everything's fine. But I want you to understand, for me to have this at 55, and then for him to have this at nearly 80, I'm telling you, this guy is in meltdown mode in his body, in his mind. Doctors across the web have said that he's having dementia mode and he's out the door. But what I keep telling all of you is don't worry about that. Chill out and realize what's going on. His meltdown is going to be a combination of bringing down himself, his partners in these grifts and all this other weird shit he's doing to steal from America, as well as the administration, and even more importantly, the GOP Republican Party. You know, I was listening to one of his former advisors, Scaramucci, and Scaramucci was saying some real stupid shit about, Democrats can't stand all of the Republicans, all 70 million of them. And he said some real stupid shit like, grow up. I said, whoa. And I responded on his social media, grow up. What do you mean grow up? That's some typical white boy shit. Grow up. Tell you what.
So people are like, you need to stick to sports. Just stick to sports. Stick to sports, which I get. This morning, Donald Trump called for Barack Obama to be arrested. I want you to listen to this real quick. This is a clip from his White House briefing.
From your perspective, who should the DOJ target as part of their investigation? What specific figures in the Obama administration?
Well, based on what I read, and I read pretty much what you read,
it would be President Obama. He started it. And Biden was there with him. And Comey was there. And Clapper, the whole group was there. Brennan, they were all there in a room. Right here. This is the room. This is much more beautiful than it was then, but that's okay. I have nice pictures up. They came out of the vaults. They were in there for 100 years. This is much more beautiful. We have the Declaration of Independence now in the room, which wasn't here. I guess people didn't feel too good about putting it here, but I do. But you know what? If you look at those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But the leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire life, that's the one they.
I just saw what Trump posted on his social media. Trump and Obama. And while Trump and Obama are in a meeting, the FBI comes and brings Obama down to his knees, arrests him, and takes him to jail, while having people say no one is above the law. No one is above the law, Donald. That all applies to you, not to Barack Obama. But what I found, most disturbing is that you would post something like this, something so vile and so gross. And I want you to know the rest of the world is looking at you with complete disgust, because that should be removed immediately. And you should send Obama an apology, because what you did was just flat gross. It's not funny. It's not humorous. It's disgusting. And it makes you look horrible. And it brings down the office of the presidency. And that's what I'm most concerned about. Because you're already as low as they get in my book. And there's nothing you can do to bring yourself any lower.
You had up there.
But to drag down the office of the presidency is even below you, Donald
slave
Trump.
Trading pedophile.
So please remove that video immediately, because it's just disgusting.
Donald Trump is a frighteningly sick individual. All last night, he was posting about former President Barack Obama as Trump continues to panic as he believes the CIA right now is turning against him, that his intelligence agencies are turning against him. Donald Trump has ordered the Department of Justice to launch investigations into the CIA, into various intelligence services, to see if they're currently spying on Donald Trump and if they're leaking to the press. And there have been numerous subpoenas flying as Donald Trump's paranoia is just crippling him at night. Last night, Donald Trump made at least 50 posts about former President Barack Obama, post after post saying Obama is guilty of treason. Obama had a really bad week this week. Obama stole hundreds of millions of dollars from Obamacare, which is completely false. Obama is working with the CIA to try to get me. Obama this, Obama that. It was post after post after post. Let me just show you what Donald Trump was saying so you can see for yourself, as we also know that Donald Trump is launching criminal investigations into various media entities for their sources who Donald Trump claims are providing classified information about just how catastrophic Donald Trump's war in Iran is. And now we're seeing even further evidence that this war is likely going to escalate, as Israeli news sources are saying that Donald Trump and Netanyahu are planning on attacking Iran again. Donald Trump may wait until after his trip with Xi Jinping in China, because Donald Trump wants that trip to go as smooth as possible so he can get his picture with Xi Jinping, because Donald Trump is enamored by Xi Jinping. But let me just show you what Donald Trump was saying about Obama all last night. Donald Trump reposting a cat turd account. Let me repeat that. Donald Trump reposting an account called Cat Turd 2, Arrest Obama the Traitor, Donald Trump writes. Donald Trump also posts bigger than Watergate, straight up sedition against the United States government. Barack Obama commissioned the intelligence community to falsify intelligence, and his CIA is the single largest spying operation in American history. Boom, Donald Trump writes in another post. 20 CIA and FBI agents dropped a political nuke on Obama by confirming that Barack Obama and a former CIA director fabricated the Russia hoax. Excuse me? You're speaking to Putin like on a weekly basis right now, removing sanctions against Russia, bringing in massive quantities of Russian fertilizer right now, contributing to Russia's war efforts against Ukraine. You're out there begging Zelensky for ceasefires right now so that Russia can have its military day parade. And then when Russia violates its end of the ceasefire, you go mute. Yeah, Russia is in plain view. You had Putin show up to Alaska last August. Donald Trump continues to post last night. Bombshell exposed. Obama's coup plot unraveling. 20 CIA and FBI whistleblowers drop the hammer. Another post right here. Donald Trump is posting an account called John F. Kennedy Jr. These are all like QAnon accounts that Donald Trump is posting, posts from literal death cults. Donald Trump reposting. And by the way, in addition to the 50 posts about former President Barack Obama, Donald Trump was making deranged posts about hunting down sex trafficking rings and these weird posts about Senator Schiff and tons of posts about Clinton. But the common theme was Donald Trump attacking Obama over and over again. Like Donald Trump posted this from an account called John F. Kennedy Jr. Barack Hussein Obama wiretapping Trump Tower during the 2016 election was a million times worse than anything Nixon did during Watergate. It's time to arrest the renegade. Follow me. The next drop will be shocking. By the next drop, they're talking about QAnon drops. Like, can we realize how deranged, demented, ill, psychologically disturbed, screwed up, vile the individual in the Oval Office is, that at night he's posting arrest Obama, he's posting QAnon drops. And here's the thing, not a single news source, I think other than the Midas Touch Network, is going to report on this. I guess this isn't newsworthy to anybody else. Yeah, you know, it's just the president of the United States posting QAnon drops, literal death cults, attacking the former president, saying I'm going to arrest him for treason, saying that I'm currently being spied on and I was spied on in the past, and that Obama's having a bad week. Yeah, you know, and Donald Trump is going to Walter Reed. We learned yesterday to have an annual physical. They say he's also going to the dentist again. He went to the dentist 2 weeks ago. He went to the dentist in January. There's a dental operatory in the White House, but apparently Donald Trump's going to Walter Reed to see the dentist on May 26th. But he also saw the dentist in Florida on May 2nd. Then he also saw the dentist in Florida on January 10th. And he also saw a doctor where he got an abdominal MRI, which isn't even really a thing. But then they said it was a CT scan last October. And then they claim he had an last annual physical, April 2025. Folks, some of the most deranged things are going on and nobody's covering it except us at the Midas Touch Network. What the hell is even going on? Then Donald Trump posts this fire video about Obama. Obama just had his worst week in years. Obama had his worst week in years. It's May 2026. Obama hasn't been in office for a very long time. What do you mean?
Obama has not been in office probably going on 11 years. So I don't know why he's going on and on and on about Obama. And he has not been in the White House for 11 years? Yeah, Donald Trump, there is something wrong. And they're not going to be able to hide this about Donald Trump. I think his dementia is advancing. That's why he needs so many visits with the doctor. And like I said, the people in DC are saying they hear his Air Force One and they see it flying over the residential area going to Walter Reed. And they see his motorcade going to Walter Reed. The people in DC are online saying these things. So he's going more frequently because I think his dementia is progressing. Remember, both his parents had dementia. So it wouldn't be far-fetched for Donald Trump to have it too. So, yeah, I mean, these late night fits, I noticed they're getting worse. And it's not getting better. And usually that will occur, especially in somebody that is, progressing. All right, here we go.
At the Obama Presidential Center. That was his post. Here's the video. Play it.
My mom didn't live to see me as president, but she was reflected in everything I did as president because she was a kind person, somebody who believed in doing things for other folks and not just thinking for yourself. A lot of those values of respecting people, regardless of their backgrounds, and listening to them and learning from them, I learned from her.
Overnight, Donald Trump posted dozens of times on Truth Social calling for President Obama's arrest, calling President Obama the most, quote, demonic force in American politics, suggesting that President Obama received $120 million from Obamacare, and more in a length. Follow for more.
Did you guys see this? Trump posted this a few days ago, and the fact that he posted it makes me wonder if Barry's arrest is imminent. I mean, at Barack Obama, I hope they arrest you before your grand opening of your war bunker in the south side of Chicago. You committed treason, targeting the president of the United States with Hillary Clinton. It's time we prosecuted someone for treason and send a message. Guys, not only would this be historic, it would be justice and the right thing to do. Puppet Master, no more.
He posted something like 30 times on Truth Social last night in the course of a minute or two, ranting about how former President Obama should be arrested, and how he's a demon, and how he made $120 million off Obamacare. And of course, none of that's true. And the fact that I have to even say none of that's true is astounding to me in today's world. But the reality is there are people who believe this and believe him, believe he's perfectly rational and sane. And this is rational and sane behavior and the type of behavior that a president of the United States should be engaging in. I mean, it's got me questioning my own sanity. Like, did I wake up in some sort of alternate timeline, or am I dreaming, or in a coma, or maybe I died during COVID and this is hell? It is absolute lunacy. And I can't even get my head around it. Something about it. Have a good day. Peace.
All right, y'all. They should just admit that Donald Trump is not well. I mean, we can see it physically. And when you see what he's ranting about in the middle of the night when he should be resting and sleeping, it is a clear sign something is definitely going on with him. But hey, they're going to let him get up and do all this ranting, then it is what it is. I say let him do it. Then there is no denying that there are issues there. And this man is probably sundowning. That's why he's not sleeping. So, and I'm sure he's probably a hell of a lot. It's hard to believe that Donald Trump can be worse at night. He's worse during the day. But it probably is true. So, I mean, who's at fault? All the people there that won't act when they see him doing anything wrong. Look, they wouldn't even do nothing about the war. And do you hear anybody in the Congress or Senate talking about the soldiers not getting fed and the sailors not getting fed? They're not doing anything. They're just kind of sitting there doing nothing. At this point, what is the purpose of you politicians? Y'all, what a mess. But seriously, what is the purpose of y'all being around? You don't do nothing. Donald Trump can pretty much do whatever the hell he wants, and y'all just sit there and watch. So, Yeah, Ellie Bow. I'm sorry, Ellie Brow. We spoke about that earlier this morning. I had a live and we spoke about the Strait of Hormuz being closed for 6 months. Spoke about it yesterday too. So, yeah, we're fully aware. Mhm. Well, I tell you what, this looks like it's going to be a rapid decline, y'all, between the president losing it in the middle of the night and all the stuff going on with the gas stations, letting the public know that many of the gas stations around the country are out of gas. I think we're going to see a more rapid decline, especially when we get in the summer months, which normally is a big travel season. And we may, for the first time, see the exact opposite, where people aren't going anywhere this summer. Very few people will be traveling. And I never saw that in my lifetime. Even when I was a kid, people were traveling in big numbers when the weather got warm. Even my family did. But this summer, we may see the first game changer of something that has not ever been seen historically in this country. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. And, again, this is the final day for the 35% off sale on Etsy. So I still have plenty of everything. So, you can stock up and take advantage of the discount. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon and be on the lookout for my next live. Shalom, family.
I see you're back, Stuart. Are you trolling some more?
Stuart,
Go ahead, Shabaka.
you have to come up here. Yeah, Stuart, you have to come up here and prove why this is a bunch of lies. And if you cannot, get the fuck out of here, man.
Right. All right. So
You got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7,
hold on,
6.
You can't do it until you got the link. All right. Here's the link. Hit the link, Stuart. Otherwise, it's permanent vacation for you. All right. What are your thoughts on him to get up here? What are your thoughts on what Lisa just said about the dump going after Osambo, talking about he's committed treason?
Okay, it's a witch hunt, Jesse. I mean, man, it's like you getting stopped with a stick of reefer, man, and then the cops want to write up that you got a pound of the shit in your car.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there's a term for that. Not witch hunt. I'm just going to call it what it is, a flagrant, blatant lie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Say, because Obama damn sure didn't do shit for black people, man. So that only means just one group of people that he was servicing, man. And it sure in the hell wasn't us. So for him to bring Obama up on treason goes to show that this damn fool Trump is demented.
Yeah.
He's reaching.
Yeah.
He's reaching. Real good, he's reaching. And so I shared the link out, man, on my phone, man, the YouTube link right there, So hopefully, we can get some other individuals up there. Stuart 220 Stuart. Stuart, unless you're getting ready to come up here, man, why don't you go somewhere, man, go look at your gay porn or whatever, man, and get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, stop trolling if you're not gonna hit the link. All right, it's permanent vacation for you.
Yeah, man, shake the spot, brother Che. That motherfucker got to go. He don't want none of this heat.
You have to subscribe to leave those stupid ass comments. So goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
All right, so moving along, these accounts need to be held accountable. These platforms rather need to be held accountable for allowing Chad
yes, sir.
to do what he's been doing in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, absolutely. And then on top of it, man, didn't they always say they want everybody to feel safe and all this shit? Now this crazy bastard is going around with a gun, right?
Yeah, he
and
was.
tagging it.
He was. Now he just carries mace. He can't carry.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
he was going around with a gun, threatening black people, calling us hard ERs, and
Right.
threaten us. And if we acted up, he would say, "Stop chimping out."
Okay. All righty. And so therefore, he just ain't came across the right person yet to put some work in. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Maybe he can go get with old coon ass Melvin. Yeah, Melvin, you said what you said, Melvin, and I'm putting your ass out here on blast with your coon ass. You know what I'm saying? You brain dead, Melvin, and I blocked your ass, and I don't know why the hell your shit keeps showing up on my face. You know?
So our brother Torian Rain Reloaded is gonna give us an update on that.
By now, if you are on social media and have been living under a rock, then you may not know who this person is. But if you are very actually aware of what's going on, you know exactly who this is. But in case you don't, this guy named is Chud the Builder. He basically has made his claim to some full version of fame by just going around and antagonizing black people in Tennessee, in certain parts of Tennessee, calling them N-words, saying that they're chimping out, carrying around bear spray. He was carrying around a firearm up until he wasn't able to, but I bet he probably wishes he has. Basically, he's trying to antagonize black people to do something to him so he can claim that he was, I guess, assaulted or something like that. And all of that is falling flat because recently I saw a video where he tried to call the cops on some black people, and it looks like even the cops are tired of him as well. But one discourse that I've been seeing consistently is that there are some black people online that are saying, well, some black people are weak because they're not doing anything to him. Then you have some black people that are saying, don't do anything to him. Then you have other black people saying, ignore him. It's like literally being pulled in multiple directions of what black people should be doing when it comes to an individual like him. But one thing I have not seen a lot of black people say, as a matter of fact, I don't think I've seen any black person say, is why was he allowed to even carry on with these antics on these platforms such as Nicc, which just removed him off of the platform, and not because of what he was doing, because mind you, he's been on the Nicc platform for months. A lot of people are just being aware in the last week or so of who this guy is because now he's gone even more viral than before. People didn't even know that this man had a whole Gibson Go that was started last year and starting to get more traction because he's getting more out there now. But the thing of the matter is not enough people are saying, why aren't these platforms allowing him to stay on there and not only stay on there and do the stuff that he does, but make money on the platform? He got kicked off of Nicc only because of the backlash. If this dude was not posting his videos on Twitter to basically share what he's been doing on that Nicc streaming platform, many people would probably not know who he was unless someone got a hold of the video and they shared it and it just went viral that way. But he's been sharing his own content on various platforms because they've been allowing him to do so. I know he has violated a lot of community guidelines, but they never kicked him off. When he got finally kicked off of Nicc, they only banned him for like 3 days and just demonetized him. But then more pressure came and said, no, 3 days is not enough for this dude. And they ended up kicking him off altogether. And now he's banned altogether. Now he's on some other platform and he's still doing the same thing. The thing of the matter is that we can point the finger at what black people should or should not do in the situations when it comes to dealing with him. But it's not enough people pointing the finger of blame at the platforms that are allowing him to continue to perpetuate and put the stuff out there. If this dude literally has the platform rug pulled from under him, then it will be very hard for him to do the stuff that he does, because he does all of this for attention. Every time you see him, he's always pulling out his phone. He's always talking crap. He's always talking mess. That's really all he does it for. He's doing it clearly for attention. If you take away his access to get or go viral like he always wants to do, then that's probably going to slow him down, because for him, attention or clout chasing is probably worth more than currency. Hell, for him at this point, it probably is currency. So if you take that away from him, then what else is he really going to have? He really doesn't have anything else going for him at all. He has no discernible talents. He probably doesn't even have a degree. He doesn't have a job. This guy's literally the epitome of a bum. Like literally, that's really what it boils down to. And it's not even just him. It's several other people who do the same thing. Because listen, what he's doing right now, several others have done before him. And the unfortunate part is that several others will be doing the same thing after he completely fades into obscurity, whenever that may be. But like I said, like really take that into consideration. It's easy to go after Black people and saying what Black people shouldn't do or what they should do when it comes to dealing with him. But you need to also call out these platforms that allow him to stay on as long as he did, to even get a name, to get himself out there for as long as he did. With his stuff, what he's been doing should have been nipped in the bud day one. For those who don't know, this dude has been carrying on like this since like at least last year. That Gibson Go that he got that has like $50,000 in it that he's trying to get $100K for, he's been having up this since like at least November. It's struggling to grow. It's growing a little bit by day now because more people are being aware of who he is, but we all know who is contributing to it. But all in all, if you're going to go after Black people for not, being quote unquote weak or soft with him or just simply giving him the attention and everything like that, you need to also go after the platforms. Because if it wasn't for these platforms letting him have a voice or be seen like that, we wouldn't know who the hell he is.
Well, what it is though,
So I was just wanted to get your thoughts.
Oh, go ahead, Shabaka.
Okay, and then the only thing that some of bitches doing is he's a moist motherfucker, man, starving for attention. You know what I'm saying? That's all what he is. He's just some punk ass bitch out here starving for attention.
Yeah,
he's trying to get some attention. And then when a brother does come up there and knocks the fuck out of him, like Franklin says to Charlie Brown, and knocks out all his fucking teeth, he won't forget that.
Right.
Then he's gonna play the picture. Oh, we can't stop it. Man, someplace else, man. He's a fucking idiot. Is what he is. A fucking idiot. Is what the hell that clown is, man, and nothing more, nothing less. He ain't making no goddamn sense. He's starving for attention. Then the sister who came up there and said that motherfucker's got the plumbing work of the same or some bullshit. So if he's with all that, then that means he could literally go fuck himself.
Yeah, it was a hermaphrodite that said that she had fucked with him.
Yeah, you see. And then some freaky perverse ass shit that she was talking about. Sound like that motherfucker belongs in San Francisco. No diss to Jay Militant, because you got some riders up there in San Francisco for real. And then like what Cal Dog was talking about, little Mia, who was stabbed at the MacArthur BART station. And you remember when we was at that other network, Brother Chad did a live feed from that, where it had all the flowers for her and what have you. And John Lewis Kyle, I believe was his name. Then the BART police gonna say, well, they arrested him up at the Concord BART station. And I asked the BART police, I says, man, how come y'all just didn't shoot him like you did Oscar Grant?
Yeah,
then they got real silent. Didn't say nothing. Have a good day, sir. Yeah, you too.
This topic, Shabaka, what about these platforms that have allowed him, the platforms that Kick and Twitch and whatever else he's on, that
they should be sued.
Go with that.
They should be sued. Yeah, they should be sued. And the reason why they should be sued is because they're supposed to have all these community standards by these self-righteous ass motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Shit, and don't check in. But let you and I go up there and say something like that in reverse. Right. Man, our damn front doors will be getting kicked in quickly.
Standards.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? Quickly. Yeah, say yeah. Hey, Cow Dog, what was the little sister's name who got killed up there, man, at the MacArthur BART station? Was it? I know her first name was Nia, but I was trying to remember her last name.
Yeah, it was a little Nia, but I can't remember her last name either.
Yeah, because when I hear Nia, the first name that comes to my mind is Nia Long, and she's a movie actress, you know. And then the cold part about that shit, when I went up there, Brother Che, you remember when I did the live feed from the MacArthur BART station, man, with all the flowers that was out to her and stuff like that. And then they had her father going up there on the news, talking about he's asking the Black community to stand down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and shit, Frisco got Hitler Hunter's point. Hitler Hunter's point. The View, Sunnydale, Fillmore, the gay shit, Haight Ashbury. Yeah, Cow Dog, I've been up there on Haight Ashbury, man. You know what I'm saying? The Summer of Love of and up there in what they call it, the Haight Ashbury district, you know, that's where Jimi Hendrix had did some of his work. Neil Wilson. Okay, thank you, Cow Dog. It was little Neil Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that baby's name, Neil Wilson. And then I've been up there through the Haight Ashbury district, man. You know what I'm saying? And all them motherfuckers is all fucked up there. And and that's when they had let me see, Hendrix was up there. Let me see, Janis Joplin had played up there. Okay, because there was a house that there was a music a nightclub that they had there.
Yeah.
Okay, Cow Dog, do you know what a Fillmore West is? It's because the Fillmore West, Aretha Franklin had played there, but I do know the Fillmore district is a Black community. Okay, yeah, it's in the Fillmore district, you know. But I know, you know, our homie up there in the Bay, Jay Militant, know all that. You know what I'm saying? And what happened?
I think it's off of Van Ness and oh god, what is this street called? I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, Van Ness runs east and west. I know. I ain't gonna lie, them sugar britches tip well when I was
in LA, it runs north to west.
Yeah. And then in LA, they had a similar place called the Troubadour out there. Okay, let me see. On the Sunset Strip, you had the Whiskey a Go Go. Tina Turner played there.
Yeah, I'm talking about San Francisco.
Right. Oh, okay. So the only thing I can recall about San Francisco was the Fillmore West. But then to find out, man, that Oakland, you know, had a couple of nice spots over there in West Oakland for the Black community as well, too. So then when a lot of the people would play at the Fillmore, then they would go over there to Panther Town, you know what I'm saying, and go play over there as well, too, because that's at the height of the Black Panthers. Also, too, when I was going through my cell phone today, right, there is talk about they're going to make a biopic of Smokey Robinson, okay? So it's probably, you know, up on the drawing board. But somebody did an excellent masterpiece, man, on our sister, Asada Shakur. I want to see the movie on that.
Yeah,
I want to see that movie. You see what I'm saying?
Hollywood to actually do a good story on her.
Yeah, okay. Cow Dog says the Fillmore West is off of Gary Boulevard. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm familiar with Gary Boulevard. It's a big ass hill. I know that. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, if anybody saw the motion picture called Bullet with Steve McQueen when he did the chase scene through San Francisco, I think it started on Gary Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? And Cow Dog, don't Gary Boulevard, man, run east and west? Or does it run north and south? because Frisco, for all practical purposes, is like a grid. You see what I mean?
That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, but LA is not a grid. LA, that motherfucker there, man, was designed by a drunk Indian on a drunk horse, and he was good fucked up.
Yeah, you could definitely tell from.
Yeah, yeah. You could just tell from the layout of the city. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
The boundaries of LA City.
Yeah. Hey, cool Keezy. Yeah.
In the building. Salute, Keezy.
Yeah.
We're down to the last, and that is Nick Cannon's Ugandan accountant stole $2 million from him and then fled to Uganda.
Damn.
So Tariq gonna give us an update on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cal Dog. Believe it or not, man, I remember the very first episode of that TV series, man, called The Streets of San Francisco, Brother Che. It was real popular in the 70s, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, it was real popular in the 70s, and there was a guy by the name of Quinn Martin. You know, I think he's dead now, who produced The Streets of San Francisco. He produced The Fugitive. He produced, oh man. He produced about 12 shows that I know of, you know?
Yeah.
But there was another show, and I'm going to say this here, back to the 60s, then we're going to get on here to Uganda. But another show that they had on too, ladies and gentlemen, that lasts from 1965 to 1973. Do you know what the name of that show is? I'm going to hum the theme song, and you tell me. Bum, 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 bum. Boom, 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 boom.
It sounds familiar.
What show was that? It was 3 letters. And it ain't ABC, NBC, or CBS.
3 letters.
Okay, the star of the show was a guy by the name of Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.
Again, all this is before my time. Cowdog might know.
The FBI. And at the end of the shows that they would show,
I'm responding to Keezy. He said he ran off on the plug. Damn. Yep.
Damn. And Cool Keezy says that Tether eating a whole gourmet giraffe tonight. Damn. Okay. So anyway, they used to have this show called the FBI that ran from 1965 to 1973. And then at the end of the episode, then they would tell you about real fugitives that they were looking for. And our girl Asada was one of them.
So this is before America. This is before America's Most Wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that spinoff is America's Most Wanted is a spinoff of that, if you really look at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so, but you had a lot of movie actors, Brother Che, that got their come-ups off that show. Another guy that got his come-up off that show, too, man, was the one and only Mr. Billy D. Williams.
Yeah. Okay.
And I forgot what they was going after Billy D for, but guess who played his girlfriend in the movie?
Who?
Judy Pace.
Oh, Judy Pace. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was something that he was wanted for bank robbery. He got shot. And they were in Los Angeles because I remember them being in Exposition Park, because I've crossed it so many times. And then Billy D got this bullet in him, and he said he wanted to go hide out in the LA Coliseum, which sits in Exposition Park. You know, the whole world is going to get a chance to see it in 2 years at the 2028 Olympics, you know? Yeah.
All
right, moving right along. So, oh boy.
Speaking of actors, oh man, my brother, Nick Cannon. My good brother, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is my brother. Did y'all hear how my brother Nick got finessed Oh my goodness. Did y'all hear about how my brother Nicholas Cannon got finessed? Man, did y'all hear? Oh, let me tell you, our brother Nick. Man, this is TMZ. Y'all look it up. This is TMZ says Nick Cannon's accountant, his ex-money manager, treated Nick Cannon's bank account like his own personal piggy bank, according to the feds. Fred Musoki, this is a Ugandan tether. He was the former account manager at a high-end Beverly Hills management tax firm. He's accused of spending several years siphoning cash from the Wild 'N Out creator. The feds hit this tether with an 8-count indictment claiming he leveraged his position in the managing business of different celebrities. He got Nick for damn near $2 million, over $2 million. Then bounced and went back to Uganda. His ass is over in Uganda now. He got Nick for $2 million of them things, man. Oh, goodness. Family, family, family. Why do you think we are delineating out here? Listen, this is not an indictment on everybody, all right? This ain't to say that all foreigners are bad, but shit. Come on, man. We're delineating for a reason. We're the Pan-Africans. Come on, we're the damn Pan-Africans. Good freaking, yeah, his ass went back to damn Uganda, then finessed our FBA brother and went to, man, that's why I'm unapologetic about delineating. I ain't playing with these folks out here. We better stop playing. Damn. Dude, these people will extract and exit. These non-FBAs, they come over here, they get in our cultural, economic sphere, extract wealth, and then exit back to their little sovereign homeland. Dude. Just like the dude who unalived the cat up there in Queens and then ran to Jamaica. You know? Come on, man. Man, see, we've been told for years, they try to shame us for ignoring our lineage in favor of this broad Pan-African identity. And Nick is a good guy, man. Nick is a very good guy, very opening guy. So Nick probably got that guy, hired this guy under the guise of supporting our fellow black man and all that. Man, you better look at these hairlines. Shit. I ain't on that. I'm gonna see your background. Hold on. I see peppercorn. Let me see your resume, nigga. Damn that. Yeah, let me see what your teeth looking like. Let me see the hairline. Let me see your shoes. Let's see what's up, man. That Pan-African thing, man, we can't sit here and play that game. We can't play that game at all, man. And without delineating, man, we fail to recognize that different groups, they have different loyalties. So shared skin color don't equate to shared stakes in the survival of our community, man. Come on, man. Delineation, man, that's a protective measure, ladies and gentlemen. When a Foundation of Black America, when we have our wealth, there's an accountability that goes with that. See, when you outsource your financial life to somebody whose primary allegiance is to another country 1,000 or 10,000 miles away, you're giving them a get out of jail free card. Yeah. And the guy, this Musoki guy, didn't just steal money. He stole American generated capital and then tried to place it outside the reach of the American legal system. See, if somebody's from the lineage and they do something janky, like, hey, dude, we know where your mom lives. You understand? So you ain't gonna clip 2 million and then just go dip off somewhere. But if you get somebody who's foreign doing that, hey, come on, man. Lord. See, a lot of, man, we got to be real. A lot of these non-FBAs, man, a lot of these people come over here and they view us as cash cows. And because a lot of us be on some, we're all black, and they say, okay, these Negroes are easy marks. Because, see, we've been conditioned to be overly inclusive. So this case is a wake-up call, man, that newcomers often see our industry and our wealth as something that should be harvested, not something that should be built alongside with us.
Yeah,
so delineation, man, that creates a boundary that signals, hey, we ain't open for exploitation under the banner of melanin. You see? See, we got to protect our resources, man. Delineation allows us to vet who's actually part of our lineage and who's a visitor, who's going to have loyalty.
We really ain't got no resources, Tariq.
Yeah.
What resources
we can't
got?
talk about closing the wealth gap and all that and allow millions of dollars to leak out our community through scammers and all that shit. So trust that through lineage or shared historic struggle is something. Now, yeah, we got people of the lineage who can finesse, but yeah, we know how to find
that. One of them bastards trying to
we know how to get at them, and they're still under the
bullshit.
confines of the legal system here. Now this dude then bounced to a damn another continent. So that creates all types of other legal barriers. We're trying to get your paper back. You see? This is why we got to be careful out here, man. We got to be careful out here. And understand delineation, when we say delineation, that don't mean non-unity. All right? That doesn't mean non-unity. That doesn't mean, quote, division. Delineation means boundaries. Boundaries are a prerequisite for respect. See, in any healthy dynamic, man, whether it's interpersonal or international or whatever, boundaries dictate how we interact. You can't truly respect somebody's house if you refuse to acknowledge their property lines. So when foundational Black Americans, when we delineate, that's not an attack on another group's heritage. That's an assertion of our own space. Delineation, that establishes the rules of engagement. And true respect, that begins the moment you recognize that the borders of my house are mine and you acknowledge who holds the deed. You know what I'm saying? Because people act dumb when it comes to delineating. See, this idea that all Black people globally are exactly the same, that's kind of a colonial mindset. The forced assimilation under a broad generic umbrella of melanin, see, that creates resentment. That's not unity because it erases specific histories. So when people push back against foundational Black American delineation, they're trying to erase our specific historic footprint. See, delineation dismantles that whole thing. So it allows us to stand authentically on our own truth. Real unity requires acknowledging your differences and not pretending that they don't exist. See, everybody wants us to pretend to be generic damn Africans, which we're not. That's a form of disrespect. You see? You got to understand lineage specificity, that fosters diplomatic unity. Think of delineation in terms of international diplomacy. When sovereign nations work together, they don't pretend they're the same country. No, they got trade agreements, they have alliances, they have mutual respect. But they fiercely maintain their distinct cultures and their distinct interests. See, when foundational Black Americans delineate, we're establishing our political and cultural identity. So this allows us to have operational and diplomatic unity with other groups based on basically mutual benefit of shared goals rather than emotional manipulation. So other groups have something that we like and respect. We got certain shit that they like and respect. Like when we go to a Jamaican restaurant, we respect it as a Jamaican restaurant. Shout out, hey, I want some jerk chicken, some curry. I know it's going to take you a minute to cook it, but I respect the culture. This is yours, and I'm here as a guest to enjoy what you're bringing to the table culturally. Now, when we do the same, when we bring our soul food and our music and all that, instead of respecting it as ours, we're told, well, gumbo comes from Igusi, nigga. We created this too. What? That's the form of damn disrespect. You can't just respect our shit as our shit. It's like, oh, we got it from you somehow. You know, R&B music came from a tribe in the motherland. No, it didn't. See, that's where the disrespect comes in. You can't respect our unique culture. You got to sit here and wipe it down and pretend we got it from you 2,000 years ago. You know? That's why the tethers have a problem with us delineating, because now we're claiming all of our shit. We're claiming our stuff as our stuff, which is, it is. We're not no damn generic Africans. Yeah? Matthew Knowles is not no damn Bahamian. They always like to lie about Beyonce's family. They're not Caribbean. They tried to say Beyonce was Haitian. No, she's not. They love lying about, oh Lord, they lie about my wife. They say my wife is Haitian, Trinidadian, Dominican. None of that shit. They just make up shit. They want everybody to be a tether. Yeah, Matthew Knowles is from damn Alabama, like my family. Matthew Knowles is not Bahamian. There was some interview where he was doing, and some lady kind of jokingly said, yeah, you might be Bahamian too. Something. They were kind of joking around or some shit. Yeah, he's not Bahamian. Bottom line, he ain't Bahamian. No, he did not say he was Bahamian. No, he did not say he was Bahamian. No, he didn't. Matthew Knowles is not Bahamian. That woman, Beyonce, and that family are full FBAs. All right. Matthew Knowles is not Bahamian. All right. So let's stop it. All right. Let me get some folks in here. All right. Let me get some people in here. He did not say that. Who are these people?
Hell no.
Who are these folks? Hold on. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? What's up? What's up?
What country you in, man?
Huh?
What country are you in?
I'm in Jamaica right now. I just saw Speed today.
Oh, cool. How was what was he doing out there?
He was eating fatties. He was just touring the country.
Oh, cool. Did he enjoy himself?
Yes, he did enjoy himself. You didn't see he posted it. He was streaming today live. He was in Kingston today.
Oh, okay. Are you in Kingston?
Yeah, I'm in Kingston right now, buddy. Can you give me a bottle and see if I can get some support?
We're doing a little later. There's a lot of noise in there. It's very annoying. Okay. Yes, a lot of noise. And shout out to Speed. Shout out to Speed over there doing the Caribbean thing.
Damn.
All right.
Running in bush meat.
Let me see. Yeah, it was sound like they're washing off fish over there. Some shit. I don't know what they're doing. All right, a lot of noise over there. He like a peppercorn Rick Ross. Okay. All right, let's see who we got. Let me see. Yeah, that our foundational Black American brother Speed is turning it up over there. Yeah. Let me see. Y'all raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand. Raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand, ladies and gentlemen. If Speeds, I think Speed, one of Speed's grandparents might be Jamaican or something like that, but the rest of his family is FBA though. Callie, hop on, because you're saying a lot in the chat room. Callie, hop on, because you got a lot to say in the chat. Hop on, Callie. Hop on, Callie. All right. Man. Callie, hop on in. Okay, who is this person here? Let me see. Y'all raise your hand. Man. Yeah, Speed's dad is foundational Black American, right? Y'all raise your hand if you're ready to get up. Yeah, I know about Callie Muscle. I know he was he kind of having a little medical situation at one point, if I'm not mistaken? Let's get Henny on the rocks. Let me get some people in here. Y'all raise your hand. Let's get you up. Let's get Cherry Pie, Henny on the rocks.
What's going on, Tariq?
What's up, Henny? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I had seen you had posted about this Chud fellow the other day, and I've been seeing that stuff trending. I just want to ask you like 2 questions about that.
Yeah.
So, firstly, I think it's weird because most of these dudes be 2A, and just as a man, how you handle disrespect. But then when they're the perpetrators of said disrespect, they want us to just be quiet and walk away and Like, man, if I'm out with my family, somebody walk up to me and start talking crazy to me, regardless of what they say, as a man, it's expected that you handle that a certain kind of way. And so, like, but then when we do it, because he walking up, oh, they camping out, they doing this, you know, you've seen the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But then all the comments is from white people talking about, oh, why y'all got to let this work? Bro, like, if somebody disrespecting you, why y'all got to move the goalpost when we the ones getting disrespected? Now, all of a sudden, we supposed to just be quiet?
Right. And they love to do the whole double standard thing. That's what, thank you, brother. White supremacy is about double standard. Because remember, they unalived Jordan Neely up there on the subway. He was just using words. He was basically talking to himself. And they said, well, he broke the social contract. So Daniel Penny snuck up from behind and unalived him. And they said that was justified. But if somebody does something to Chud, they're chimping out. And he's actively going up to people, harassing them, threatening them, basically assaulting them. My concern is that the law enforcement apparatus and the political apparatus, they're allowing him to do this. See, that's the issue that we should be looking at. They're sitting up here allowing an open white supremacist run around here assaulting people. Now, when somebody lays them out, I don't want them to throw the book at people, but we're looking at now the politicians, the DA, because we're talking about the DA up there in Clarksville and Nashville. I think is Glenn Funk and Robert, can't think of Robert's last name. That's the Clarksville DA. People need to holler at them. And in fact, if this Chud guy is allowed to keep doing that, we're going to have to take a trip down to Nashville and go down to City Hall or go down to the DA's office and ask them, is this acceptable behavior? We're going to have to put some political faces on this, okay? Because the political structure should be doing something about this open white supremacists running around here harassing people and violating civil rights as a form of content. Because black people, remember when black people got into arguments with Asian people, they were getting hit with hate crime charges. There's black people up in New York. If you got into an argument with an Asian person, they hit you with a damn hate crime charge. Glenn Funk and Robert, can't think of Robert's last name. That's the Clarksville DA. People need to holler at them. And in fact, if this Chud guy is allowed to keep doing that, we're going to have to take a trip down to Nashville and go down to City Hall or go down to the DA's office and ask them, is this acceptable behavior? We're going to have to put some political faces on this, okay? Because the political structure should be doing something about this open white supremacists running around here harassing people and violating civil rights as a form of content. Because black people, remember when black people got into arguments with Asian people, they were getting hit with hate crime charges. There's black people up in New York. If you got into an argument with an Asian person, they hit you with a damn hate crime charge. You understand? So yeah, we get hit with charges if we start saying something about another person's ethnicity. This dude's whole platform is denigrating black people, threatening black people, running around here armed with a pew-pew and pepper spray, antagonizing people, violating people's civil rights, and they act like they don't see this guy. You know? So we're going to have to start putting political faces on this, because if this guy ambushes somebody and pew-pews them, their family needs to sue the entire city of Nashville, Clarksville, or wherever the hell county this happened. Now, again, this guy, he knows what he's doing. He's very careful about, he circles around to see if it's safe. He makes sure there's not too many black folks around. He goes to white T spaces, and he understands a lot of the black people who hang in the white T spaces are not going to be with the business like that. You understand? That's why when he went to that gas station, he got caught slipping. You understand? He went to the gas station. I don't think he meant to film. He got caught slipping at that gas station. He went to the bout it side of Nashville, and they caught his ass slipping. Then he got on the phone crying to the police. You understand? Yeah. So it's interesting to see how this thing plays out. But I know he's not going nowhere near Memphis, though. I know that. He ain't going nowhere near Memphis. Yeah. So yeah, it's it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, we need your NBA reports.
It's gonna be interesting. Let me get a couple of folks in here, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna hold you too long. Shout out to everybody in here. All right. Let's get Izzy. Let's get Mr. Izzy. Hop on in, Izzy. I'll be live for reparations.
Hey, what up, Flex?
What's going on? How you doing, Izzy?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. FBA, you already know I'm in California, Sacramento. You already know what it is.
Shout out to Sacktown.
That's right. I just wanted to say, man, there's another little thing that's going on. I think maybe you should do, because you did mic check already, microphone check, right? Maybe you should consider telling the history about FBA history in film and the new blackface. I'm actually writing right now about it. It's called Blackface and Blackface, and it's talking about, you know, sorry about that. My headphones came off, but it's talking about you know, all the blackface, you know, international black stars that are playing Black American roles and things like that. I was just thinking, man, you know, if anybody can do that shit, you can do that shit. So I just want to let you know, maybe you want to look into that.
There you go, my man. Thank you so much. All right. Let me see. Okay. Facts, not feels. Hop on, Facts. You're saying something, Facts. Facts, you want to hop on? Mr. Facts, not feels. Something's going on with your account.
But they're not.
Where I just can't add you. So Facts, not feel. Make a request to get on and say what's on your spirit. Mr. Facts, not feels. I would love for you to hop on and say whatever you need to say, sir. Facts, not feels. I would like for him to come on up. Mr. Facts, not feels. He's very active in the chat room. But Mr. Facts, not feels is not getting up. I would like for him to get up. Mr. Facts, not feels. All right. Y'all raise your hand. All right. Y'all raise your hands. Let me get you in here. Let's get VA Slim in here. Okay, VA, make a request. You got your hand up, but I can't add you unless you make a request. So VA Fields, make a request and I get you up. All right, let's get Euclid X. All right, let's get Euclid X. What's up, Euclid?
What's good, brother? Supreme Rising.
How you doing, Euclid?
I'm all right, brother, man. I'm all right. You know, we spoke a couple of months ago, and yeah, brother, you know, I got a lot of love for you. I got a lot of love for you because you are a brother that's well established, you know, doing what you do.
Yes, sir.
But you know, I have a lot of love for you, but I want to just get to the roots of like what's our what is our mission if we are different schools and different groups and different organizations and stuff like that, but we're the same people per se. You know, we have the same thought. Like we may have the same thought. We have a lot of similarities. Culture that just haven't been embraced, history that haven't been embraced, embraced, acknowledged, taught, you know, just a lot. You know, I don't like the division and separation and stuff like that. I feel like we need to really come together more and establish more instead of establishing more division.
When did you not like the division? Because there's been division from day one. So when did you stop liking the division?
Right. Just seeing brothers, I guess, come up and become knowledgeable and then it become a problem. Like, I guess from my own experience, or maybe just even from what I'm seeing, like it's different groups, it's different ways that we look at them. And then it's like, you know, now it's like a stereotype that's put on a group, but maybe that person isn't a part of that group. That just maybe that person's thought pattern or philosophy.
Euclid, where's your family from?
Did you just say so?
Hold on, VA. Euclid, where's your family from?
My father is from Georgia. So my father is Nelson Linder. I don't know if you know him or not, but that's my father. My mother's from Austin, Texas, where I'm born.
Okay. Now, what part of the family, are they anybody in the family Caribbean or continental African?
You say Caribbean?
Yeah. Any immigrants in your family tree?
To my knowledge, no, not Caribbean.
Okay, okay. Who's from Africa? Any immigrants from Africa in your family tree?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't gone that far, but I can say, like, as far as like one of my great grandfathers, it's possible that he probably came from there.
Possibly. I mean, you would know, right?
Right. I mean, I have a lot of work to do, you know, within my own.
Okay, that means if you got work to do, that means somebody is an immigrant, because we as foundational Black Americans, we would know that. We would know. We know where our people come from. We've been here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I got you on that. I feel you. So on my mother's side, my mom claimed, like my grandma said, you know, she was Indian, Cherokee, that type of stuff like that. That's on my mom's side, but that's like, you know, I still haven't done my work on that either. But I didn't meet my grandmother. Well, I met my grandmother, but she's passed long ago, and this came from like my great grandmother.
Okay, yeah, I got great grandparents I never met because they passed before I was born, but I know where they're buried. Some of them buried down there in Selma. They're buried throughout Alabama. They're all foundational Black Americans, so you know, we know. That makes sense?
For sure. But just as in a common goal, as far as people, just as far as us folks, like it's like a common goal is to give benefits to our people that's still on the land today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but ain't nothing stopping that. We can still do that.
That's what I'm looking at, brother. And that's what I'm really. That's what I'm looking at. As long as that's not thrown out the picture or impossible, which is nothing is impossible. But as long as that's as long as we could fathom that, we could, that could be a vision in the future, or right now, and that's all right. I just wanted to make sure like it wasn't getting out of control to where it starts becoming to where probably no one can prosper. Only one or two, groups or so, or whatever the case is.
Okay, brother. Thank you, brother. I don't know what he's talking. Okay, he's just saying shit. That brother, I'm gonna let him talk. I'm trying to get to a point. He's just saying words. Nothing what he said really made any sense. It was very vague. I don't know what he was talking about. BA, what's up, brother?
What's up, Flex? Can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Peace to you. Like, you was talking earlier and reflect to the points you was talking about earlier with us and Black Foundation Americans activists. Like, if you from the culture, you know the culture. We've been in it. It's like you can't substitute it. It's like we know what we got to do. And you breaking down all the history to people. And I like how you was telling them, like, y'all are still young. Y'all don't know how we get down. Dude, I've been listening to you before all this stuff started. I knew who Dr. Anderson was before this. It's like, if you know your people and you know your community, you know and you understand how we moving. And I'm going to land my plane on that. And a lot of our people really need to get more history with the Jacksons and the Nation of Islam and that relationship. I'm going to land my plane. Thank you, Flex.
Yeah, respect. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah, folks better get familiar. People better get familiar. Well, yeah, a lot of folks didn't know that how the mafia, man, are trying to get at the Jacksons for years. Yeah, man, the mafia, they control a lot of stuff within the entertainment industry, and the family had to navigate throughout that for decades, man. So yeah, that would be great to talk about in a movie, but I digress. All right, man. Yeah, a lot of y'all didn't know that. Yeah, a lot of us are old enough to remember the mafia controlled Vegas, the record distribution. Oh man, they controlled a lot of clubs and venues and jukeboxes. Remember, they used to play records on jukeboxes back in the day. That was the mafia controlled all that. They were controlling all that stuff, man. And they were shaking down these artists, especially these Black artists. They don't have that kind of control in the industry like that no more. And Vegas is all corporate now. They got rid of a lot of those mafioso figures, But yeah, it was heavy back in the day. Oh, it was heavy in boxing. Yeah, forget about it. Oh, yeah, some they do. They still control certain things, but a lot of things are corporately funded now. Yeah, a lot of them went corporate. All right, but yeah, a lot of y'all didn't know about LaToya Jackson. Yeah, man. Well, they had her hand the hell up.
LaToya Jackson.
Man,
I've been knowing about that.
Let's get one more call in. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long.
She was married to that dude named Jack Gordon.
All right. What's your name? Brian, what's up, sis?
Hi, how you doing? I hit it by mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, dear. I'll be hitting that button. Up here getting her hair done, hitting the button by mistake. All right. Man. Hell yeah, Jack Gordon was bopping LaToya with chairs, and they were doing all types of shit to LaToya. LaToya's getting her ass beat. Man, it's a cold world. All right. Yeah, that's what Janet like. Hell no, ain't nobody gonna snatch me up. I'm up here with the Nation of Islam. Y'all ain't gonna get me. Janet said, y'all ain't touching me. Y'all ain't about to do me like LaToya.
Yes.
Didn't we do a show about that, man, one time?
Yes.
Man. It's heavy. Who we got? Let's get some folks in here. Let's get some people in here, ladies and gentlemen. Man, let me see, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Ace in the hole. What's up, Ace? Your account looks real weird, Ace. All right. Hope this ain't no funny style account, Ace. What's up, Ace?
Hey, how you doing, Tariq?
I'm good. All right. Ace in the hole. This ain't no funny style account, is it?
No, sir. I just wanted to ask you, have you seen on any type of social media that Kendrick Lamar and Dr. Dre was in Compton at Centennial High School, one of my old school, and they're building a new Centennial High School out there in Compton. I went to the school, so I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I saw where they were out there. I saw where Kendrick saw like his old teacher and all that. Everybody went to Centennial. Like didn't Quick go to Centennial and Lonzo?
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Are you Pyru?
No, affiliated, but not Pyru. No.
Yeah, that motherfucker loaded with Pyrus. Man, shout out to Centennial. Yeah, that's a good thing with what Dre and Kendrick are doing, man. I love that. Yeah, Centennial is Pyru like a mug.
Man. Yeah, okay. Yes, it is. Yeah. Didn't the Pyrus get started out of Centennial with Tam and Puddin? From what I understand, it got started at Centennial. Where my Compton people? Did it get started at Centennial with Tam and Puddin? Man. Yeah, from what if I'm not mistaken, I think the Pyrus got started at that moment. There's this burger stand. Where's this burger stand on Imperial? I haven't been to it, but I want to go to it. Hawthorne's Burger. What's that? Where my LA people? There's this burger stand that everybody says is real good, but this motherfucker is in the damn trenches. Hawkins. Have you been to Hawkins Burger? How was the burger? People keep saying how good the burgers are. But that shit is right across the street from damn Nickerson Gardens. They said it's the best, huh? They said it's better than Tam's. Them Hawkins Burger. I heard, man. I keep hearing how good the burgers is, but it's goddamn in Bounty Hunter hood. Shit. Damn. That's what LA is, man. All the good spots, man. It's in a danger zone, nigga. All the good spots are damn. You got to make sure you wear the right color. Man. That shit right over there by damn Nickerson Gardens. Shit. Say burgers to die for, huh? But man. Well, shit. So you got to Uber eat it. You got to get somebody. Let the Postmates driver risk his life. Let Dudu Tunde go over there and get it. Like, shit, what is this shit? These niggas press me. They stole my burger and fries, nigga. I am not a grip. Let Dudu Tunde go over there and get him up. Just order the shit. Damn. I want one of them Hawkins burger. I want one of them. I heard it's real good though. I heard it's good. I gotta try it. You know, man. But that shit is off in the trenches. I went to that's LA, man. You got Blood and Crip burger stands. They got over in 60s, so they got the Blue Bird. That's a chicken spot. Have y'all been to Blue Bird? I went over to the Blue Bird. They got Blue Bird fried chicken. It's a Crip chicken spot over in 60s hood. You been to Blue Bird? Yeah, those are my guys over there. Man, it was cool. Some of the sides were cool. Yeah. Yes, nigga. They got a Crip chicken spot. But LA is LA, man. Nigga, they got, dude, that's the funny thing. You got Crips and Bloods running businesses out here is hilarious. Yeah. You got Crips and Bloods out here who be running legitimate businesses. Like, yeah. Hey, cuz, you want some mac and cheese with that, homie? We ain't got no coleslaw, cuz. Lord. And if you go to a blood restaurant, they be mispronouncing the words. Yo, we ain't got no bowl slaw. Yo, we out of bowl slaw. Pyru. Yo, you want some fried bacon? We got fried bacon, bowl slaw. Man, LA is funny. LA is very funny. Man, but shout out to them. I'm just glad they're trying to do the right thing. These brothers, they are running legitimate businesses. You know, yeah, we got mac and bees, bowl slaw, Boca Bola soda. Shout out to them. Who is this? Okay. All right, let's get some folks. Should we get one more person in here? Should we get one more? Should we get one more? Should we get one more, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Should we get one more? Man, let me see who we got. Y'all raise them hands. I think we can get one more. That wouldn't hurt, right? Not four more, one more. All right. Let me see. Raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands. Hold on. Where's the picture? I got a picture of me in front of Bluebird. Hold on. Let me find that picture of me in front of Bluebird. Hold on one second. God, hold on. God damn. Stop requesting, dude. Damn. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do shit and this fool requesting. Hold on, man. God damn, if you stop requesting, that's annoying, motherfucker.
I'm seeing you. One, please.
Get your fish mouth ass out of here. Don't kiss at me. Get out of here. The hell out of here. Damn. God, man. These people are annoying as hell. Okay. I'm trying to pull up. Okay, now I'm done. Now he done ruined my mood. Now I'm done. I'm done for the night. That's it. It's my sign to let it go. Let it go and let God.
Damn it. Oh, we're doing this with these people. Anyway, listen, join us at the Hidden History Museum. All right, go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Get your tickets to join me at the Memorial Weekend Mic Drop. We got a great event happening, ladies and gentlemen. Memorial Weekend Mic Drop. Get your tickets. Come join me. May 23rd, ladies and gentlemen. Come on through. May 23rd. Get your tickets. hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Also, get your Majora prayer plaques at majora.org, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and get your Rootwork deodorant at rootworkstyle.com. All right, I'm up out of here. Papi Akute, Lullabubi to the family. Peace.
All right, Shabaka, that's all I got for Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. What are your thoughts? Nick Cannon get finessed.
Yeah, I hate to see the brother get scammed like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I think I told you something in a private conversation, man. There was a similar thing that happened out here in Las Vegas that I was well aware of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to elaborate on that. It's because I told you that there off in a private conversation, so I'm not going to touch on that because this is Las Vegas, you know what I mean? But so Tariq is doing his thing, and pretty much, man, he brought back memories talking about Los Angeles, man, and what have you. Knowing what boundaries to go over, man, you know, what colors not to wear, and that's why I always wear basic black, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, which is self-explanatory, you know, of it. And, you know, have been approached, you know, didn't have too many problems, but, you know, you got to carry yourself a certain way when you go in there into Los Angeles, is because they will spot out of towners. You see what I'm saying? And then they will step to you as well, too. But if you go in there to LA, man, and just be respectful, man, you really shouldn't have no problem. But damn sure stay off that east side, man. I'm going to tell you that now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you and I had a conversation about that I'm not going to go on about on the air. You see what I mean? And on that, I could say, man, is, hey, like and subscribe to Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News. You know what I mean? Okay, and I believe Brother Che is getting ready to start Front Line Blacc News for tonight. Okay, so we're gonna appreciate everybody tuning in to Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News. So we're gonna be putting our Cash App up there. No, we don't have Cash App. Okay, we're gonna be, you know, putting our PayPal link up there, you know, because we need some money up over here real bad to keep the show afloat. And, you know, we've been coming out of our pockets, you know, going on 12 seasons now, you know what I mean? And so, and like I say, somebody come up here, make, you know, a great donation. We'll be more than happy to mention you, whatever it is, what platform you're on, or what product that you're trying, or brand that you're trying to get out there. You know, we'll be more than happy to do that. And your donation will be itemized of what the money went on. They'll say, so, you know, out here in Sin City is 97 degrees right now here at 9 o'clock, 97 degrees. And that's probably why we was having connection problems, because you got all these high wire power lines out here. Then, of course, you know, those who are familiar with the electromagnetic spectrum, you know, the energies and signals get all twisted in heat and in cold, you know, as well, too. See? And then why do we have to have a mission? Crazy talk. Okay, well, now what's Fresh talking about right here?
I'm about the video I played earlier.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Nicc got tricked. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did. You see, and the cold part about it is, man, is that he should have went over there to the spot, you know, with the money and see how it was accounted for. Also, too, what type of laws they had set up there to guarantee his money. But then I'm quite sure that motherfucker, if he comes back over here, man, I'm quite sure, man, he's going to have some misfortunes, you know, fucking with Nicc. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the air date of this program was 10/12, 5.
No, May 12th.
5.
No, May 12th, 2026.
Yeah, that's 5.
May 12th. 2026 also too, as we all do know, in 3 days, Malcolm X's birthday is coming up. He would have been 101 years old, had he had lived through that. Okay, so we definitely got to do something for Malcolm and what have you.
That would be next Tuesday, Shabaki.
Okay, yeah, that'll be next Tuesday. Okay, then also too, and hit that PayPal we got up there, because your boy Shabaka here is sinking. You know what I mean? And we're trying to keep our heads above water out here. Then I got a bunch of medical appointments that I got to go see and stuff like that. In order to stay above water. But we got up here. To a pleasant 118 degrees today, brother Che. You know what I mean?
118 today.
Yeah, yes, sir. And so therefore we invite all Nabiscos to come out, sit out here in the sun. But you got to leave your sunscreen at home, Mr. Nabiscos. So then, they had a bunch of content creators, man, over there by the Las Vegas sign, you know what I mean? And whatnot when I passed by it earlier today, And then they got all the road construction crews out here, man, tearing up the asphalt, brother Che, and laying a new asphalt. Because when that sun hits, it cracks the asphalt. So they constantly, are redoing it, you see. And then we need some more of your water, man, from the Colorado River, man.
You've been cut off, Shabaka.
Yeah, Yeah, so we need some more snow. All the snow up here in the Nevada hills is all melted, man. So I'm sure that water that came off that snow has dehydrated. So, we need some more, the Colorado River water.
You get some Nathan. You get some Nathan. You've been cut off.
Man, come on, man. This is Las Vegas, man. Las Vegas got to have some water, man. You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn heat over here, so no, there's no water.
Yeah, man. Well, this is the desert, homie. You know what I'm saying? What's that? Desert heat. Anybody remember that song by James Brown in '77 called Body Heat? Yeah, so what's that? Desert heat, yeah, fresh, yeah, we need all that water out here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we need all that water because naturally, of course, I'm buying bottled water, man. And I think I bought me a great big jug and had it froze, So when I get out and about tomorrow, man, I could have me some water in my vehicle, you know what I mean? And what have you.
All right, so this is going to conclude season 11, episode 38 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News. Join us in about 30 minutes or less for Front Line.
Okay, folks, and please get up there with Brother Che, for all your night owls tonight, because I'm getting ready to lay it down. I'm in pain, you know what I'm saying? And then I got to go try to do this project tomorrow, man, to see if it could generate some revenue, Okay. All right, so definitely get with Brother Che. I may, depending on how inseminated I get, I might creep in tonight because Brother Che, he be going in on the long ones there on the FLBN, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then here, Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced. We deal with the Black experience from the beginning of time to 10 minutes ago. We do not allow the following on this platform. Racist Nabiscos, tethers, Yasa bosses. You see what I'm saying? Because as soon as you come up here with your bullshit, you're going to be shown the door because we don't have the time to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? A shout out there to Mr. Tariq Nasheed on what he's doing, although I do not always agree with him. But I do, respect the brother's accomplishments, and he may know about me, he may not. Either way, I don't give a damn if he do or if he doesn't. But I appreciate the brother, represent Los Angeles, because I spent many a times there, my youth there, spent a lot of money there, you know what I'm saying? Got a few bumps and scrapes in Los Angeles and issued out some as well, too, But The city of angels is the city of lost angels, you know, straight from hell. So California, get rid of that scum bum ass governor you got, Gruesome Newsom.
Yeah,
He's a man of very, very low quality. You know, he has very, very low morals. You know, and yeah, Gruesome Newsom, I'm talking about you. And you welcome to get your ass up here. Karen Bass, you're nothing but a figurehead, honey. You welcome to come up on here. Yeah, you and I can have a whole lot of talks about Los Angeles because Mayor Bass, you have no power in the city of Los Angeles. The mayor of Denver, the mayor of San Francisco, the mayor of Oakland, those, for an example, the mayor of Seattle, those are downright chief executive officers of those municipalities. But Ms. Bass, you are just a figurehead there in Los Angeles, okay? Fine, they gave you the Olympic flag to carry, you know, from Tokyo to for 2028, just like they did with Tom Bradley, you know, when they wait a minute. 76 was Ray Leonard, 1976 was Ray Leonard, Howard Davis, those guys there on the Olympic boxing team. Okay, then Jimmy Carter had boycotted the Moscow Olympics and has cheated a lot of young athletes out of their opportunity to shine. Then the Olympics came back to Los Angeles in 1984. Okay, then after 1984, it went to Seoul, Korea. Then from Seoul, Korea, it went to Barcelona, Spain in 1992. Then in 1996, it went down there to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Then 2000 games, it went to Sydney, Australia. 2004, it went to Beijing. And then in 2008, it went to London, and that's where old girl Clarissa Shields, ladies and gentlemen, got her gold medals in 2 Olympiads, okay, which is unprecedented in women's boxing. And then from let's see, then 2016, I went to Brazil, okay? And then 2020, I went to Tokyo, okay? It went to Tokyo in 2020. Then it went to Paris, you see what I'm saying? And then, of course, then after the Paris Games, which was in France in 2024, then the next Olympiad is going to be out there in the city of Angels, Hollywood. If you go out there, people, be prepared to get jacked up by the LOD, okay? Be prepared for that. If you go out there for the Olympiad, if you're not VIP, if you're not entrenched there, and if you're going out there as a normal person, expect to get harassed and jacked up by the Los Angeles Police Department, and all the thugs will be out there mugging and thugging. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off here from Sin City. Okay, definitely join Brother Che on the Front Line Blacc News that's coming up. You know, shortly I might peep in. You know, still send me a link anyway, Brother Che. You know, in case I decide to come in for a few minutes, depending on who we got in there, if you know what I mean. And we'll definitely be speaking with you good people. You know. Next week on Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced here on StreamYard. Okay, folks, I'm out. Okay.
All right, thank you for joining me, Shabaka. All right, so this is going to be 11, episode 38 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News. Join us in about 15 to 30 minutes for Front Line Blacc News, Season 6, Episode 25, Part 3, continuation. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe to all our platforms. And shout out to everybody that tapped in. Shout out to Fresh. Shout out to Kukizi. Shout out to Goddess Nabi. There's one other person. Cow Dog. And anybody else peeking and not speaking. So peace, love, life, races and separations and delineations. Oh, duh, Fresh. Sorry, Fresh. Fresh always as well. So peace, love, light, reparations and separations and Black empowerment. Shane Krumah signing off from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City. Go Broncos, Shabaka.
Man, put them ponies back in a barn, man. Lakers, You guys need to go on and retire LeBron. You guys got bumped out. You know what I'm saying? Raiders, get out of town or change your fucking name. You know what I'm saying? You Raiders, you motherfuckers is disgusting. Very disgusting. Very disgusting.
And that's since '83. All right. So
I think we won a Super Bowl since '83. Wait a minute. Last Super Bowl we won was when Marcus Allen. Yeah, that was in '83. Yeah. That's the last one. Damn, man, that's 23 years ago. Shit.
No, that's longer than that. That's 3 years ago. All right. Thank y'all for taking 43 years ago. So peace, reparations, separations, delineations of black empowerment. Chain Kuma signing out from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City, and Shabaka signing out from the Sin City. Peace.
All right. Okay. All right, Cal Dog.